that it's work.
Close our door.
Turn it up too.
Yeah, like close the door so people can hear that.
Testing kits. Some Democrats as well as Republican governors are pushing back against President Trump's suggestion that the lack of testing kits is no longer a problem. It is a problem. Any scientist will tell you that it is. Here's audio obtained by the New York Times on Monday's conference call between Trump and those governors, including Montana's Steve Bullock.
But literally, we are one day away if we don't get test kits from the CDC that we wouldn't be able to get tested in Montana. While we're trying to do all the contact tracing, we don't have adequate tests to necessarily do it. We don't have the CDC along the way, and we're not finding markets to be able to do that.
Tony, you can answer if you want, but I haven't heard about testing in weeks. We've tested more now than any nation in the world. We've got these great tests, and we come out with another one tomorrow where
okay, stop it.
Almost 50% testing.
How's everybody doing? We have a couple of people here right now. I titled it Mr. Bomb Explains Coronavirus and How to Protect Yourself the best way that we can. You know what I mean? In layman's term, we're gonna talk about it in layman's terms so people can understand. Because you was explaining some things to me. Hey, Soup Bone, how you doing? And so my husband and I, y'all know my husband is in the medical field, right? I mentioned that. And we were talking about some things because I'm concerned. Hey, is it German Ice? How you doing?
What's going on?
So my husband in the medical field. You gotta turn it off. My husband's in the medical field. I already explained that type of thing. And he and I was talking because when he came home, I had it in my mind already set up that I was gonna tell him, hey, you can't go back to work, right? Because I feel like we know they have what they call essential. Is that what they say? The essential workers, right?
Yeah.
And of course, he being in the medical field, he's an essential worker. He's somebody who has to go to work. And that's for the good of the country, right? For those who get sick to have doctors and to get care. But then I started thinking about my family, right? We have a grandchild who's young, who live in our home, and then our children also live in the home. But looking past that, I was telling my husband, hey, but I'm concerned about him. I'm concerned about you, right? Because we are not young. I know in his heart, in my husband's heart, just like in my heart, we feel like we're young, right? We feel like, hey, we can deal with this. But my husband is a diabetic, which is one of the things you said that they, so when they say that you have a precondition, right? What are those conditions as far as you know, babe?
As far as I know, it's like just underlying lung problems. Then every 10 minutes they roll something else out. But
yeah, but don't see, now you're trying to what did they mention? What did they say?
First, it was like any kind of underlying, like if you had like asthma, pneumonia, COPD. Mm-hmm. Those were all the ones that they were more worried about. And they still say it like anybody that's older that has any of these.
Right.
Then it was like, oh yeah. And it's like I said, depending on who you listen to, you'll hear like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart condition. They just keep adding to the list.
Right. When at first they were just saying any what they called it when in the beginning underlying condition, but they wouldn't explain it. They wouldn't give details. And then I actually heard someone mention being overweight, y'all. Like when I was like, because that is an underlying condition, right? Do we have anybody with a wrench in here? Because we got some idiots in this room. Jesus, we got people. Nobody care about you and whether you like Trump or not. You can love Trump, but somebody. Let me stop this fool, man. It's something when I gotta come in.
Even then, he's misinformed. I mean, he keeps blaming some cat named Tony.
Who, Trump?
Yeah.
Well, we know Trump is an idiot.
Somebody named Tony, like the thing is, Tony, you heard about this? And
that's a whole nother. We got a fool in the room while we talking about nothing to do with Trump. We're not talking about Trump at all. But we have a fool in the room who's upping the guy who has our country, who just wasn't on the ball. Like he's supposed to be in charge, right? And he knew things we didn't even know. He knew what was going on in other countries before just normal, regular folks, right? Mm-hmm. And if he didn't, that means he dropped the ball even then, because I'm quite sure he has people around him who's supposed to keep him on track of what's going on, especially with diseases that could possibly come to our country. And of course, he said it could never come. It could never come. What did he say? What did Trump say in the beginning? I had to get in here so I can take care of this food right here. Okay, there we go. I don't think we had anybody with a wrench in the room at the time. But remember, in the beginning, he was making it seem like, we didn't have anything to worry about. Mm-hmm. So anyway, but this topic is not about Trump, so we're gonna get off of that. Anyway, so when I heard someone mention, because I was like, wait a minute, they say that it could be, anybody with any condition, pretty much. I was like, yeah, diabetes is one. But when somebody literally on Fox News mentioned being overweight, and I'm shocked nobody else, kind of, there should have been a lot of people saying, wait a minute, what? I could die just because I'm overweight? Because I think in the U.S., they said we are the fattest in the whole nation, right? I'm around the world, right? Yeah, we're the fattest country in the world. And overweight, if you could die because you're overweight by catching this, there should be a lot more people concerned. Okay. You're doing the exact right thing. We have to take care of ourselves and our family. I agree with you. I'm concerned for my husband because he is a diabetic. When he mentioned that, now he's the first person I heard. It was you, babe. A couple of days ago, we was having a conversation, and you mentioned being a diabetic was on the list. I was like, that's when I was like, what? In my mind, I was like processing that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I always thought, like you said, like you tried to say just now, I know you. It has to do more with your lungs and things like that. So if that's true, then why did diabetes or being overweight is on the list if it's about your breathing?
I had no idea. That one I don't. I mean, the other ones I would understand.
Right, asthma, like the young lady. It was a girl who died because she had it, but she had asthma, right?
Yeah.
So that's understandable. By the way, my condolences out to that family. Because I think none of us, regardless of why somebody died, if they have an underlying condition or not, you don't want it to be your family members, right? Mm-hmm. I'd rather, look, if I got sick and passed away, I would feel different because I would be dead, right? But I would rather that than to watch one of my children, my husband, or anybody in my family pass away because of this shit. It's easy to say, well, yeah, if I die, boom, boom. But yeah, I think of it a little different. He downplayed the significance of this virus. Yes, he did. Thank you. Is it German? Jay? No. Anyway, but my husband, okay, so listen, we got all these medical people, these police officers, we have all these people who we think of as heroes, because I do think of them as heroes, especially in a time like this, right? But then when it's my hero, right? When it's my family member, when it's my husband, I'm like, wait a minute, baby. Like, you could go to work, and in a month from now, you'll be dead just because you went to work. And they're like on the front lines, like being in the military, right? And you over there in the midst of the war, you on the front lines. You know that you could die. But I don't think they're not explaining it that way. That's how I look at it. I look at it every time you go to work, right? And you deal with somebody who may have it because they don't know they have it yet. And when it comes down to you and your position, you don't know if they have it. But we do have doctors and nurses who deal with the people who they know have it because the test came back positive, right? Mm-hmm. I watch people, these goddamn, what they call them, these famous people, sit there and say, I have it. and they hugged up with their husband or their wife. Who that was? Tom Hanks, right?
Yeah, but both of them had it. So
Yeah, but they both. But that's the thing. Both of them have it, and they sitting there in a picture, smiling, hugged up. And in everybody's mind, I know in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, they have it. They still look good, and they hugged up with each other. And so it puts in our mind subconsciously that it's not as bad as it. And I think that's why they got these famous people doing this shit. Why else would a famous person show you that picture and get online and say, yep, I have the coronavirus. Hey, everybody, here I am. Why else would they do that?
say that they're doing all right.
Yeah, right. To say they're doing all right, but that they're doing all right. Why would they want us to know that they're doing all right when there's other people dying? I don't see them showing the families of the people who died. Right here in New Jersey, wasn't there a family? 4 people in one family died from corona, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how many people know that. I know we know it because we in that area. We in the area where they talk about is Philadelphia, New Jersey, and Delaware. So we hear that news. So of course, when that one family, it was one family right there in Jersey. I think they ended up now. They didn't come together after the corona. I think they got together right before, because the president was downplaying it and people just going about their business. They ended up having like a family.
Family reunion.
I don't think it was a reunion, but I do think it was a family gathering. That's how they pronounce. It could have been somebody's birthday or something like that. So they had a lot of family members in one space, doing what families do. And wow, within a month, 4 of those people passed away. And I don't think they gave us the age. I know some of them were older, but if I'm correct, I think some of them were younger, like in their 30s, maybe 40s. I'm not sure. Okay, let me read what people say. I'm sorry, everybody. I wasn't reading. Let me see. Can you give me a wrench back? Bomb cherries. Oh, I didn't know that was you. Oh, yeah. Thank you. So you could take care of help me take care of the room, girl. Okay, cool. Did I? Okay. Anyway, let me see. The weight factor is mainly an issue because of the stress on the lungs. Oh, okay. She mentioned that. Okay, that makes sense. Cause when I gain a whole lot of weight, girl, I be over here out of breath when I go up. That's when I know I gained a little bit too much weight. When I go up and down the steps and realize I'm out of breath. So that's when I start twerking. Y'all know what it is. Hey Troy, how you doing? Let me see what else is going on here. However, reasonably healthy people will fare better if they contract the virus. Okay, let's see. Blue Devil was gonna. Yeah, that's what they said. But how do y'all, when it's y'all family, think about this, because I'm in this predicament every day. Every day my husband walk out of his house, I start thinking about, wow, suppose he has it. I'm ringing. So, oh, come on now. I'm like, suppose he have it, and how do I stop this? If he has it and he brings it back here, and one of my sons get it, or my grandchild, right? I was panicking. I'm not sure. I think a lot of you don't know this, but one of the Viper Pit members, he ended up with corona. Okay, I knew it because he had informed me, but of course, it wasn't my business to tell people. You know what I mean? He was scared. He already have a video up if y'all want to check it out. Chris Law, Mr. Chris Law, here on YouTube. He was in the hospital. Okay, he sent me pictures of him in the hospital, y'all, and I was scared, but I was trying to keep his spirits up. I was like, "You gonna get through this? Whatever you need, let me know." And I would hit him up, because he was in the hospital. His family wasn't allowed to be there with him. He said, "Bomb, they won't let me even see his family. They wouldn't even let me see his family, baby." Like he said, you know what I mean? So my thing is, though, the doctors who was in direct contact with him, the nurses and things like that, it sounds good that I'm thinking, okay, there's some nurses and some doctors there taking care of you. But when the nurses and doctors are your family members, then what you think? Like if I was a nurse, baby, and you knew I was out there taking care of people who could have this virus, be honest, how would you feel?
I'd be different because I already know, like I told you, and I'm doing practically everything I can, plus some, to keep from getting it. So I would assume you would be doing the same thing.
No. You thinking of it from your perspective.
That's why I said I'm going to be different.
Right. You thinking of it because you saying, well, I'm doing the best that I can to make sure I don't get it. But that don't sound good to me, though, babe. I know you. Listen, I know that you. I know you. It's not like you don't have a death wish, right?
No.
So I know that already.
Like versus other outbreaks that happen, this, the grand scheme, this isn't as bad.
Yeah. We're about to get into that. We're gonna explain that, but and maybe that's what you're looking at it from, though. You're looking at it from you knowing, because you in the medical field, you know things that a lot of us don't know, because you know the more detail, should I say, right?
Yeah.
So but you're looking at it from like, there's more people dying from, what was one of them you said? The flu. You said there's more people dying from the flu each year that most of us don't know about, right?
Yeah, because like right now it's getting overshadowed by this. And to say, hey, look, I mean, I'm not a doctor, didn't stay at Holiday Inn, so I'm not like playing that one. But to say, hey, look, you can get the flu like all these other problems. I mean, the same thing with this, shaking hands, standing next to somebody coughing, all of them. And you get the flu, and it's the same problems, the same underlying conditions. The flu can take you out just as easily. Only difference is when they do a flu shot, they'll say, hey, look, it looks like this year, this flu virus is going to be the one that's going to be the problem. We'll make a flu virus vaccine to fight that one. Sometimes it gets right, sometimes it gets wrong.
Right. So like a lot of people who are in, who's been following, they think, that, hey, there's a lot of people dying from the flu. Most of us, I don't think a lot of regular people who go to work every day, I don't think we know that a lot of people are dying from the flu. And remember, you and I even had when you was telling me, well, hey, there's more people who die from the flu than this. Yep. And but in my mind, I'm thinking, well, we know how to cure the flu, or we know how to help people at least get through the flu. And with this thing called coronavirus, we don't know much, right? At least from most of our standpoint, we don't know much. But my husband is about to break down some things, because when he informed me, hey, the coronavirus has been here for a very long time, right?
Yeah, at least 17 years.
So my husband's saying the coronavirus been around for minimum 17 years. At least 17 years. And you said that that it just changed names.
Yeah, they just changed the name. First time it popped up, everybody knows it better as SARS.
So SARS.
But it was CoV-2, because that's the year it popped up. That's the name they gave it. CoV-2.
CoV-2.
Now it's COVID-19.
Oh, okay. So basically, did they ever figure out how to? They never figured out how to cure SARS, did they?
You don't hear about it anymore because they got in front of it.
Oh, okay.
But this, it's like I said, it basically it's the same family. It just seems like this is a little more aggressive. Everything that worked 17 years ago isn't quite working right now.
Okay.
For the same reason.
So you say what they call it when it mutates, right? So my husband and I was talking, and he was explaining to me how certain things could come, right? You could get a virus, and they give you medication, right? You get medication for viruses like a antibiotic, right?
Well, antivirals.
Antiviral. Okay.
Antibiotics won't work on viruses.
And that's important for us to know. We need to know what medicines do what, and how some of them can make things worse, right? Or
Yeah,
you think
apparently well, which one is it? Aleve, so ibuprofen can make it worse.
so you could take certain medications that can make things worse.
Yep.
And not even know it because you thinking that it's just a pain reliever, but it could actually make it worse.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, we was talking and he mentioned things like when you mentioned gonorrhea, that's a bacteria or is that a virus?
Yeah, it's a bacteria.
Bacteria. He mentioned that the doctors will give you some medication and tell you, hey, take this medication. Well, you explain it, baby, then.
Yeah, well, like I said, like you have it, and they'll tell you, hey, look, take this medicine for 10 days. Take all of it for the whole 10 days, and then you don't. You stop after 7, and guess what? It's the virus is well, you still had a disease, you just weakened it, but it's not dead.
So let me repeat it. So you're saying, because you're not speaking loud enough, I don't think. Okay, so he's saying that the doctor give you some medication and they say, hey, take this for 10 days, take all of it, take it the entire course, right?
Yep.
And what happens, and I'm gonna admit that I have done this. The doctor give me some medicine, they say, hey, take this for 10 days. They don't never tell me to take it all, but the bottle on the medication bottle, it does say that. Okay. But I take the medicine, like you said, the first day, okay. The second day I start feeling a little better.
Yep. 5 days in you feel great.
Yeah.
Then you stop taking medicine, but guess what? You're not cured.
But I'm not cured, right? So yeah, he's right. By the 5th day, sometime the 3rd day, I start feeling a lot better. And I'm like, oh shit, I feel better. And then what I would do is I would put the medicine up until, like, especially antibiotics, I tend to use them when I might need it. I feel like, okay, there's some medicine, I'll keep it here. And if something pop up, one of the kids, I just give them one, right? But my husband is saying that when we do that, we still have the virus. We just weakened it.
Or whatever it is. Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
You still have it. It's just, you just weakened it. It's not dead.
Right.
And now, when, say, I get it, whatever worked for you doesn't work now because it just is able to survive what you took. And now the next thing you know, I'm getting told take the whole 10 days. Oh, we're gonna have to up this. So like I told you, like, once upon a time, it was penicillin, like 250 milligrams, but now it's like literally like 500, 750 milligrams for the same strain because it hasn't been killed off. So it's just getting stronger and stronger. Or right. MRSA is another one.
MRSA?
It's another one. And I forgot what it is, but it's resistant to an antibiotic. So now you have to change it.
Right. So with this, let's bring it back to coronavirus, right? Let's say that, because I was thinking maybe it mutated, right? You said it was SARS. Maybe could it be that somebody with SARS or a different strand, right? Which is a different strand than corona, or is it the same? What you saying?
The whole family's been around. That's why I said, like, first it was SARS, then I'm pretty sure it was H1N1, avian flu, and a couple others. They're all coronaviruses.
Oh, okay. So H1N1, y'all remember that one? That was maybe how many years ago?
10.
It was 10 years ago?
Yep.
Wow. It seemed like it was just right there 5 years ago. He said, I remember H1N1. They were saying it was killing a lot of people.
Yep.
Sure was. That's what tripped me up.
I'm pretty sure that one is COVID-9 or COVID-10.
COVID-9 and COVID-10?
One of them, yeah.
Yeah. Y'all remember H1N1? That shit was scary. I remember hearing about it. I was like, what's going on? Like, they got a virus out here killing people. So what you think? Why this one have us all inside? If they're pretty much the same, what you think?
Because this one, unlike those, wasn't meant for humans to contact or contract.
So this one, what you saying? This one come from like an animal?
Yep.
This one come from an animal, so that's therefore they don't even have
much more dangerous.
It's more dangerous to us.
That much more, because, like you said, there's no treatment, but there's a roadmap.
There's a roadmap where they can hopefully.
Yeah, you can use SARS, H1N1. You've already dealt with coronaviruses, so you can literally just like the flu. You can you can create the virus, whoop its ass so bad, and then introduce it to somebody, and if they're healthy, they can produce antibodies, and then you can treat everybody with the antibodies. But they haven't found anything to cripple it that bad yet for somebody to survive.
Oh, okay. You was also said, remember, you was like, there could be people with the coronavirus who don't even have any symptoms.
Yeah.
And it's possible that they have an
antibody.
antibody.
Yep.
So that means, because this has been around so long already, we could have already contracted it, survived it. Right? And is that what you're saying? How you get the antibodies?
Just walking around like everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said, like, the one cat I'm listening to and trust me is Fauci.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like when he was doing the numbers and saying, hey, look, these cats that said this could be up to 10 times worse, just played on y'all's fears. Here's how this really breaks down. If you had the flu and like say 10,000 people had the flu, 1/10 of 1% of them would die from the flu, right? And then
okay, so
1/10 of 1%.
1/10 of 1%. Wow,
of them
1% would die.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's basically out of 10,000, that's like 100 people.
100 people.
Right? No, is it? 1/10 of 1%. So 10% would be 1,000. 1% will be 100. It will be 10 people.
10 people, yeah.
Right? Out of 1,000. Right? So 10 out of 1,000. And then when they said, oh, this could be 10 times worse, the problem with that is that could be, but now you're looking at it and thinking that with that same number, it's instead of the 1,000 dying, it's 100.
Right. Even though it's
still it's still 1/10 of 1%. Just when you change the numbers to say 10 times worse, and now people running and scared, and it's like, no, if 1/10 of 1% died from the flu, and he's saying up to 1%, because it's 10 times worse, it's still the same percentage, 1%. Just he said up to 10%, which makes it 1%.
Right.
It could be twice as bad. Yeah. So to sit there and say like stats are for losers and you can spin the numbers any way you want, they're spinning the way they want to scare people.
Right. So when they start using numbers like 10 times worse, but without giving you the basic number of 10, because 10 times worse of 10, like you said, is 100, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll start looking at it differently, I guess.
But then they're running with numbers that, like Italy, for example. Italy's numbers are inflated because they're just counting all deaths as coronavirus.
Oh, that's what they're doing?
Yeah.
So anybody who dying right now
is coronavirus. It could have been somebody sitting in a hospital already on life support. Yeah, and it's another coronavirus.
Oh. So they're making it look like it's so bad. We're not saying that it's not bad.
No.
We're not saying that.
I'm not saying it's that. It's just the potential in this. Yeah, like they're still trying to figure this out. You had like they're telling you common sense stuff, like stay away from each other. Yeah, all common sense stuff. Cover your mouth when you cough. Yeah.
Right. But they said, and I think the stuff that's not really common sense, or it makes sense, but we here in America, we do things differently, like shaking hands of people you might not even know. Like, why are we shaking hands to people we don't know?
It was a sign of greeting to show that you weren't armed. That's why it's always right hand.
Oh, okay. Now explain that, because I bet you a lot of people don't know that. Hey, Rex, and everybody else who came in, Miss Rosalind. So people don't know that shaking of hands was a sign of. Say it again, babe.
It was a greeting to show that you're not armed.
Right.
90% of the people are right-handed, so you shake with your right hand. Just like the salute in the military, it's the same thing. Show that you're not armed from a distance. You salute with your right hand, so guess what? Means you're not armed.
Right, because if you was armed, you wouldn't be able to show your hand, because if you're right-handed.
Yep.
So why? I know in other countries they do things with their left hand.
That's for the same reason. Everybody's right hand dominant. So just like in the Middle East, you would never shake anybody's hand with your left hand. They consider it an insult because you wipe your ass with your left hand.
You wipe your hand with your left hand or your right hand? You
Your
mean?
left hand.
Oh, okay. I know it had something to do with, not using that hand. I thought you don't shake your hands with your right hand because you wipe your ass with your right hand.
You wipe your hand with your left hand because you're dominant with your right hand.
You wipe your ass with your left hand?
Yeah. Like in the Middle East. Yeah. Left
Wait a minute.
left hand in a bowl of water.
Right, I know, yeah, because they wipe their butt. They don't use toilet paper like we do. There's some shit that we do. But wait a minute, baby. Because wait, I'm right-handed. I do everything right-handed. I wipe my butt with my right hand. You wipe your butt with your left hand?
No. I'm just saying culturally.
Oh, wait.
Like in the Middle East,
okay.
the culture is you wipe with your left hand.
Oh, I see.
Because you use your right hand for everything except that. Yeah. Back to the whole shake hands with your right hand.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to extend your left hand in the Middle East, lucky if you don't get killed.
Rob, how you doing? Yeah. So let's recap just a few things so we can continue on. So you're basically saying that coronavirus has been here. They just giving it different names.
Yeah,
and
I did different strands too, but yeah,
different strands.
Coronaviruses for at least 17 years, if not longer.
And so we've heard of SARS. I remember hearing about SARS, H1N1. That was just like you said. I remember that one also. That was
pretty sure that was CoV-9.
CoV-9, and sure. And then there were some others in between those. I know.
A couple of flus, which they don't.
They always kind of kicked it off.
That, but yeah.
They always, and these things always kicked off as like a flu-like type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The symptoms are the same. It always affects respiratory, your breathing and things like that. That's why people, if you can't breathe, of course, you know that you're dead, or you will die without assistance, right? And you're saying that people die more from a flu than they have from this. But the reason we're concerned is because, like you said, there's no cure, and they don't know much about it at the time. Like right now, they don't have a lot of information.
Yeah, they don't have a true map, like how to treat this. They know where it came from looking back, but it's like, okay, this doesn't act like these, but those should act as a roadmap to give you an idea of what to do.
What to do, yeah. Okay, if anybody have any questions or anything, I'm gonna read. Let me see. Rob said, I saw your video the other day. Some truths, but some perceptions isn't allowed publicly. Right. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll up. So yeah, my husband. So I'm concerned because my husband is in the medical field. My husband does deal with sick people and some healthy people. Everybody who visit him isn't sick, but he does have sick people. They can actually have the virus and come to your office. And my thing is, of course I care about sick people, right? I don't want anybody to die, especially from this, but I need to start thinking about it, or have been thinking about it from my family standpoint. You are my family. And nobody, people will say, oh, I'm sorry your husband died. That's all I'll get from other people. You know what I mean? And here I would have to be here with your kids and your grandkids without you. Or even worse, I know you will feel worse if we contracted it from you. And that's why I'm saying, baby, you can't. I know you like the work. I know you like the job and shit, but I'm scared. When we look at little Malik, like I saw you, the grandfather looking at little Malik, we definitely don't want nothing to happen to him. Just like we don't want nothing to happen. But then that's because he's a baby, right? We don't want nothing to happen to none of our kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this shit is starting to concern me, because especially when I start hearing about the safety measures that these jobs, nurses not having the mask and things that are needed, and they still have to be in contact with these people. So when somebody said, well, oh, like y'all do know in New York, what they said, I think a couple of police officers died from corona just recently. People are dropping like flies. I don't think people understand this. They said in one day, over 1,000 people died from corona. Do you think they're doing the same thing that you say they're doing in Italy, though? Or in, was it Italy?
They're spinning numbers again. So
do you think that when anybody died, they just lumping that up? Or do you think this is no, we're actually saying these are people with corona?
yeah, but just like I said, they're spinning numbers. Because are you think that over 1,000 people died from corona in one day here,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
or the whole world?
No, I think they said here.
See, that's why you'd have to check. Because I mean, if it did,
But
I mean, I don't.
1,000
Maybe
is not a
1,000.
lot. I mean, it's a lot when you look at it here. 1,000 people died, but more than 1,000 people die every day. But if they put it on, if they say 1,000 people died from this one virus, and we just at the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
We at the beginning. That's why they're trying to curve it, tell us, stay away from each other. Do you think that is 1,000 people dying every day? That's not a lot. That's not a huge number.
No, and that's why I said, are they saying it's 1,000 people just here in the U.S., 1,000 people in the world?
No, they said here in the
people
U.S.
just in New York.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did that too. I think in New York, in one day, I think 200 people died from corona. That's what they say. And I guess I'm wondering, how would they know it's corona? Okay, so this is my question. So I'm not saying that this virus isn't deadly. I absolutely think it is. I'm just saying the information that they're sharing with us is not on the up and up fully. And this is how I know for a fact. So remember, we was thinking that Malik had our son. We were thinking that one of our sons had it. He thought he had it. He was real sick, right? Remember?
Yeah, and see now that one,
Mm-hmm.
that was a better example of how he could have gotten it. But at the same time, he's young, healthy, active. He might be the one that might have an antibody to it right now.
Right. But okay, so what I was saying though, he was sick. And we know the baby, the baby's here. The baby spend more time with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really concerned. So we go to look to find a place where we can get him tested. And we couldn't find no place. The things the president was putting out there was false. The president was like, hey, just go, you can get tested. We all can get tested. He was like, yeah, you just go to your doctor to get tested. I heard that from the president myself. Like, I heard him say that. So when I was like, okay, we're going to go get tested, I called our family doctor to make an appointment. And as soon as it sounded like I said he has, symptoms, they was like, we don't do that. No, he can't come here. I'm like, what? The lady tried to make it seem like they wasn't even our doctor. I was like, excuse me. She was like, you haven't been here in quite some time. I said, this is our doctor. I said, my son was born with this doctor. I didn't say, but she took care of him through his, he was born. That's the only doctor we've been to and since our kids been born, remember? Mm-hmm. And she tried to make it seem like we don't even belong there, y'all. They didn't want to see him. And this woman, she was on that bullshit, right? So I was like, look, I don't know if he have it. I said, but we need tests. How do we get a test? She's like, we don't do no tests here. We don't know. I said, the president says we need to call you. So then I quit. She hung up on me. She hung up on me. So then I started doing research, trying to figure it out. And in the paper, the CDC says something about you could go get tested, but you needed a script, a script, written out a script from your doctor. So I called the doctor back. I'm like, hey, look, it says my son could get tested, but I just need a script from you all. And she was like, look, okay, you could come here, but when, like what you said, they do at y'all's, right? She said you could come here, but what we need you to do when you get here, we need you to go around back and call us and let us know that you're here. And then you're going to sit in your car until we call you to come in. You're going to come in through the back and somebody going to take care of you, which I get it though, out of fear, right? But based on our conversation, even through all that, right? They have us come in through the back door, and then how, if these masks doesn't protect these people, how, what is any of that helping anybody? Like, if, let's say, because remember I canceled the appointment because we realized even if they gave a script, there's nowhere, nobody had any tests, so he didn't go. I canceled it. My thing is, this is my question to you, because you, and this is mainly what we was talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
The mask not working, not having the mask.
Depends on who's wearing it.
Okay, so the mask that, without giving out too much information, the mask that
get in Walgreens, like the surgical mask.
Right, the surgical mask, right?
Yeah.
But we've already found out that those don't help, right? When the doctors gave, y'all know, when you go to the doctors, right? Well, like when I went, remember I went to the VA. That's where I got that first mask from. I go to VA, they gave me a mask. The mask was for me not to give something to you, right?
Yeah.
Right. So me coughing, in other words, it helped me when I cough. They know that something is in front of my face.
If you're sick, basically that mask is one way. So
Right.
if you're sick and you had, like, you will play with coronavirus. If you had it, it won't pass through that mask. So you can't give it to anybody.
Right.
But if I'm wearing a mask and you had a virus, I'm not protected. The mask is just decoration.
Okay, so we're gonna say that again so people can understand, because I think this is the part people need to understand. So the mask that people are walking around with, right, for the most part, that mask, they give it to me, the patient, right? And let's say I do have it. They give it to me so when I cough or whatever, it doesn't pass through to everybody.
Exactly.
But if I'm the sick one and I have no mask, and you're the healthy one and you do have a mask, you're saying what?
It's worthless.
That is worthless, right? It doesn't.
One-way filter in those masks, so it keeps your germs or virus or whatever you have in that mask. But anything outside of it passes right through.
Right. So a lot of people walking around healthy with a mask on.
That's just decoration.
It's just decoration. Is basically what he's saying. I mean, I could see. Yeah. So the people who really need to be having a mask would be the people who are sick. But then a lot of people are sick and don't even know they have it and don't even know they have it. You see what I'm saying? Because that's why some people say, hey, everybody need to be tested. Like, we need a lot of tests so people could be tested. And then if we knew who was sick, there would be a plan that they could put in place. But right now, that's why they send you back like they did with my son. So my son did go to, we took him to like urgent care. He went to urgent care hoping that he could get tested because he had the sore throat. Remember, he was real sick. He had the sore throat, the cough, but it wasn't he didn't tell me at the time, but I didn't think we knew that he had a cough, but he thought he really was sick, and he had been sick for days. It wasn't like he just got sick today and we freaked out. He was sick for a few days, and he got so bad, his throat got so bad. He said, I may have it, let me go get tested. And even then, y'all, they didn't test him because he didn't have the fever. That's the only thing he didn't have was the fever. They wouldn't test him because of that. And then they sent him home. They put him on what they call it. They quarantined him to the house with the rest of us who healthy though. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Like, they quarantined him to a house and
gave him a mask.
And gave him a now that's the good mask. Yeah, they gave him one mask. Everybody one. They said, okay, they released him. You're quarantined. Here you go. Go quarantine yourself with some healthy people. And by the way, here's one mask. Boop. There you go. One mask. So we got a baby. See, I freak out because I started thinking, like, if I didn't go to his appointment with him, which they wouldn't have let me anyway. Because when we go to the doctor's appointment, they only allow one person to come in. Because I did take my grandson went to the hospital, and I wanted to go with his mother, right? So, because I know the right questions to ask. I know, you know what I mean? Young people y'all not really, y'all don't know what to ask and shit like that, right? And I was concerned, especially since my grandson lived with us, right? He's here more than anywhere. And when we went there, they would only allow her back there with him. I had to put up a little fuss, you know. I didn't argue too bad. It wasn't that difficult, but yeah, I had to stand my ground and say, hey, my grandchild lived in 2 spaces. And we all are concerned about his health. So you could I told him you could FaceTime. I told him, say, take this phone, I'm gonna have my iPad, I'm gonna be right here, and we could FaceTime so I can ask the right questions and stuff. But getting back on track though, how is that make sense that sick people, without us getting any tests, should stay home without possibly healthy family members? How's that better? Or how does that make sense? Yeah, I'm talking
I don't know. I mean,
and that brings us back to you though. You who are working with sick people, who, by the way, you know, just like people tell you thank you for your service when you're in the military. You know, of course, everybody thank you for your service out there now. But I'm concerned as your wife. Yeah, baby, I can't. Every time I say, okay, he going to work, I think to myself, what if he catch this? What are you thinking though? Cause you told me what you think. You think, hey, babe, I'm doing everything possible to make sure I don't get it. But
yeah, above and beyond too. I mean, they want us to disinfect twice a day. We actually disinfect 4 times a day.
Right.
And then we're using stuff that, you know, they don't want us to because it actually works better and it's more available. Yeah, and like I told you, like, yeah, 70% alcohol is the best thing.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. My husband, he explained to me what works better than other things, and because a lot of people are confused, right? I see people doing it, thinking it the way I was thinking it, which is backwards, right? So hand sanitizers. So a lot of people, y'all fighting for hand sanitizer, but what hand sanitizer does what, baby? What does
No,
it?
it was that homemade hand sanitizer.
No. I know, but we're gonna go through them all.
Oh.
Okay, so regular hand sanitizer. That's the one like what is called, like Perel or something like that, and different ones. They got different ones. That is what people put on their hands and they just wipe it. It dries right away. Is that strong enough to kill coronavirus though?
Yeah.
So that is right.
Yeah.
Because why? Because of the percentage of alcohol, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the percentage of alcohol, so that will kill both bacteria and the virus, right?
Yep.
Okay, so then they're mentioning there was something, okay, homemade sanitizer, where they were saying you could use vodka.
Yep, like 80 proof vodka.
80 proof vodka, and they put some different things in it to soften it up. Aloe vera and things like that. So that won't work. Why?
Because the alcohol isn't a high enough percentage to work.
So they think that because proof and alcohol, they think they mean the same thing, right?
Yep.
So just because it says that the vodka is 80 proof,
they think it means it's 80%, and it's not. Proof is actually half a percentage.
Half a percentage. So 80 proof will mean that it's only 40% alcohol, which isn't enough to kill anything, not even bacteria, huh?
No, most of them can survive that.
Right. So when we think about this virus from your family standpoint and things that you're getting, we need to understand that what could kill it. We need to understand there's a difference between bacteria and viruses, right? That's or it's not viral. What is it called? So
it's a virus.
It's a virus, but what's the term that y'all use? You mentioned bacteria.
Viricide.
Okay, so there's bacteria and there's viruses, right?
Yeah.
So we got to understand that we need to understand in order for you to go in your cabinet and figure out what will work. So my husband was telling me some things that would work that a lot of people probably don't know. Okay, so but if you go to get some alcohol, 80 proof or even 100 proof, even 100 proof
No,
won't work, right?
no.
That's what I'm about to say. So
No.
even because you said that when people think of proof, they think that
it's a
means
percentage.
percentage of alcohol,
Mhm.
right? And my husband just explained that that's not what it is. A percentage proof is half of a percentage. So if they say 100 proof alcohol, it would only be 50% alcohol. If that makes sense to anyone. Okay, so that means how much alcohol needs to be in something to kill at least bacteria?
You need a minimum 140 proof alcohol.
140 proof alcohol to kill bacteria?
Well, viruses. Yeah.
Viruses, at least viruses. Okay, which I don't think I what is where you find that at? Is there any alcohol that would do that?
Yeah, the two most common ones are Bacardi 151 and Everclear. But
Everclear,
you're
yeah.
paying too much for them. I mean, that's why I said like just 70% alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Everclear is what I was making a bomb cherry
Mm-hmm.
when you created that, huh?
Yeah, but you see, I mean, but to see how much that costs versus a bottle of alcohol, I mean, it's like literally $12 because the distillers know this goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
It's 190 proof, which is 95% alcohol.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to make hand sanitizer, like 1 pint would literally make 3 pints of hand sanitizer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it goes a long way. So if y'all can end up getting you some Everclear, you probably can make your hand sanitizer that will work, right?
Yeah.
But anything else out there, yeah, it's not gonna be enough. What else there was something you said that they made that it dissolved too quickly, and that's why it would kill only bacteria.
91% alcohol.
91% alcohol.
Evaporates too fast.
You mean you talking about the alcohol that you drank?
No. When you get out isopropyl alcohol.
Oh, okay, that's
like
what I'm saying. We gotta explain.
I'm saying when you go to like say, well, before they bought it all up,
Mm-hmm.
you could go to like Walgreens and they would have different percentages of isopropyl alcohol. So usually it was 50, 70, and 91. But 91 evaporates too fast to kill viruses.
Okay, so that babe. Okay, so hey, thank you, Rex Mix, for the Cash App, babe. Thank you for that. So now when we talk about alcohol, we're talking about actual alcohol that you put on the boo-boo. You know, kids fall and you want to burn it. Now we're talking about that. So if you could get your hands on some alcohol, then you're saying that would work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alcohol will 70%. Work. It has to be at least 70% alcohol, which when we buy it, isn't it that? What is it?
There's 3 of them. That's why I said before they bought it all, cats were buying 50% just for the sport because it's alcohol kills it, but it's like 50% is fairly adequate, but it's not going to kill. We'll just say the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it would kill bacteria.
It'll kill bacteria, and it'll weaken most viruses.
Oh, it'll weaken. So we gotta understand there's a weakening of the virus, and then there's killing.
You're back to the same thing. It's just weakened, right? But if it survives, it's gonna be a little stronger because now it's built up a tolerance to alcohol.
Right.
So if you now you're gonna have to use 70%.
Okay, so wait, let's back up a little bit. So you were saying that there's different percentages that we buy of alcohol, right? What were they?
50, 70, and 91.
50, 70, and 91. If you go to Walmart or wherever, Dollar Tree, wherever you go, and if you find alcohol in a bottle, it comes in green too, right? The green one, and then
they call it wintergreen or witch hazel scent, something like that.
If you find those, buy them. Okay, buy them. It's cheap anyway. Like I remember buying alcohol for like 50-something cents, 70-something cents, $1. If you see it, buy it. Okay, because that could replace that hand sanitizer. But you're saying that the percentage, don't get the 50%. You want to get the what?
70 or 70. You want 70.
Get 70%. Okay, and you explained that because the alcohol, the way it evaporates too fast.
91%.
91%.
Yeah.
The 91% evaporates too fast. So you don't want the 91%. You want to buy the which one? The 70%. Okay. So you want to get the 70% alcohol. Okay, the 91% you don't want to get it, but you ever put on alcohol and it evaporates like that, which is a good thing when it's burning because you want it to hurry up and go away, but it's not a good thing when it's killing bacteria or viruses, mostly viruses. It'll kill bacteria, right? Usually
Yeah.
upon contact, it'll kill bacteria.
Yeah, or within a few seconds.
Yeah, but it won't kill the virus, and the virus, like you said, once it if it survives, which it will, then it comes back with a vengeance. It'll be
Or it's
the
built up a tolerance, or it can build up a tolerance to 50%, but now you need 70% to kill it.
right. Hey,
And then,
Curlin.
and then 70% is just going to kill a period because it's like the perfect mix. So it evaporates, but it doesn't evaporate that fast because there's 30% water in it to slow down the evaporation.
Okay, so if you have any, because most of us in our community, we usually have alcohol peroxide, things like that.
Yeah,
Peroxide.
peroxide works too.
So that's what I was about to say. So peroxide will kill. So will kill both the virus and bacteria and the virus.
Yeah, but they only work like on hard surfaces or your hands, somewhere you can let it just dry.
Yeah. So it will work on your hands. So if you needed some hand sanitizer, it will work.
Yeah.
On your hands.
Yeah.
And you sit on hard surfaces also.
Yeah, like countertops, hard plastic chairs, stuff like that.
But also, like you said, you gotta don't put it on and then wipe it off. You gotta just let it sit there and let it air dry, right?
Or give it I think with alcohol, it's like at least a minute.
A minute with alcohol to dry. And what you think, peroxide, basically the same thing?
Yeah, it might be. I think it's closer to 2 minutes.
2 minutes, a little longer with the peroxide.
Yeah, it's the same thing, different percentages, but I think 3% is the minimum for it to work.
Okay. And this is good. This information is good for you to use with your family around your house. If somebody is sick or you're not sure, grab you some alcohol, grab you some peroxide, and anything that they touch, just wipe it down. So let's go back to remember we was talking about, you was mentioning how people are walking around with gloves on. Mm-hmm. They have on gloves and they're touching everything. And then, right? They have on their gloves, they're touching everything and they're protected, right? As far as just touching shit. But then when they go eat their sandwich and they have those gloves on, or they touch their face.
Yep, touch their face.
Soon as they touch,
like 20 times a day. Pick up this, touch that, and then worrying about wiping off the pen and the whole nine, and then go sit down, rub their eyes.
Mm-hmm. And so gloves are protective, but until you misuse them or you're not using all precautions. So you can have your gloves on where you're not getting other people's germs. But remember, the gloves are to make sure you don't get the gloves on your hands so you won't touch your face. But if you have the gloves on and then you touch your face with the gloves on, you made the gloves obsolete, right?
Yeah.
It only makes sense. We're doing things a little ass backwards, in other words. You have on gloves. Why would you put on gloves for what? Because you can't catch the virus through contact like that, or can you? Like, let's say you had the coronavirus, you were sitting in that seat, right? Mm-hmm. And you get up, I go sit in that seat, or I touch that seat. Can I catch it just by simply getting in the seat?
Not by just sitting in it.
Right.
But it's like I told you before, like the 5 things that will spread any kind of virus or any kind of disease the fastest are the 5 F's. Flies, food, fluids, feces, and fingers.
Okay, so say it again. So these are the 5 things that will help any virus or bacteria survive. Spread.
But look at them. Flies. Yeah, that's one. We all know what they eat.
Feces, right? Huh?
Yeah, which is number 2. That'll be F number 2. So flies eat shit. Shit is something, has all kinds of bacteria and viruses in it. And guess what? Yeah, you're not meant that you're supposed to get rid of them. You're not supposed to ingest them. which is back to the left-handed bowl of water. You don't recycle the bowl of water, right? Because there's 3 of them right there. Yeah. Now you got your fingers in a bowl of water with feces in it. What else did most viruses or bacteria need to live in? Fluids.
Fluids, which will be the
Any
bowl of
kind of
water.
fluid, and especially if it's something that's good for them, like water. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So you wouldn't. So if I wash my hand in the bowl, okay, like washing dishes, right? Back in the day, well, still now. Say I was washing dishes, I had the coronavirus. I'm washing. People would think that maybe putting their hands in the water at least minimum will clean it, but that helps spread, right? You saying?
Well, if you're washing dishes, there's soap involved. Soaps kill bacteria and viruses.
And viruses. All
just
of them?
From the chemical reaction. Yeah. That's what I told you. Like cats ran out and bought up all the antibacterial soap, right? It's useless. Putting that antibacterial on a bar of soap or a soap dispenser just gives company X that much more right to charge more money. You know why? Because all soaps are antibacterial.
All soaps are antibacterial. Y'all listening to this? So some people are going and buying soaps that says antibacterial soap, and it costs you more money. But my husband just informed us that what?
All soaps are antibacterial.
All soaps are antibacterial. All of it has the chemical that will kill.
They all do the same chemical reaction. The only difference is you don't see on there where it says antibacterial, and then on the back it says kills bacteria X, Y, and Z. They all do it. But guess what? I can have regular dial and I can have antibacterial dial. And regular dial I'll sell you for $1. Antibacterial dial I'm gonna sell you for $2 because it's antibacterial. Yeah, and cash will run out. And just like you go to Walmart right now, all the regular soap is just sitting there ignored.
Right.
But where all the antibacterial used to be is empty.
It's empty.
Or the same thing with the cleaners. You know who's probably the maddest out of this whole deal right now? It's whoever makes Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean. What?
Because it doesn't say shit on it.
Oh yeah, Mr. Clean, but Mr. Clean will work.
Yeah. It's the same basic, chemicals, just they never put antibacterial or the same thing with them. They don't put what bacteria it kills. They just put antibacterial.
Right.
What bacteria is it killing? It's killing the same household bacteria that you've been having anyway.
Right.
You go spraying some shit. I mean, Lysol is different. But you go spraying something thinking, oh, well, it says antibacterial. Guess what? That's bacteria. This is a virus.
Right. So that's
looking for antiviral. Guess what? They don't roll that out every day because if they did, then these viruses would come back even stronger.
Right. So that's important for people to know. Antibacterial is not going to kill the virus. It only kills bacteria, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So wait, we have somebody typing. I'm going to read what she said because she's saying a lot. Let me see. And wait a minute. Gemini, are you? I don't even know Gemini, male or female. I think I might be. I'm at the reading. I apologize. Somebody said get Lysol. What you think about Lysol? Lysol
works.
It does work.
Yeah, because like I said, if you look on the back, see what it's claiming it kills.
Yeah.
And then, like I told you, the one cat, Lysol cats, they knew that this virus was coming. It's on the back of this dude. That shit's been on there since 2003.
Right.
Because when SARS came along, it was COVID too.
COVID. So
they had to go out and go find, and it was already out there. They just started naming viruses because for the people that read the back of the label, they're looking for buzzwords. Yeah.
Right.
So if you're looking, just like I told you with this, if this was sitting next to a bottle of Lysol, which one would you buy?
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna see if people, if I'm gonna let them look. Give me a second. Give it to me. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so my husband says if this was sitting on side of a can of Lysol, which one would you buy? Which one would you buy? Most people will buy the Lysol. They probably wouldn't even look at this
because it's a familiar brand name.
It's all about branding.
Well, it's the name.
The name, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The brand.
They're going, Lysol will work because it's But then it's like I said with the antibacterial, the same ingredients in that Lysol can is in that can.
That's right. If you go and look at, and that's how I shop, you know, that's why we might end up with something like this. See what it says at the top up there? It says kills colds and flu viruses.
And notice that it has an asterisk next to it.
It
Flu
does.
viruses.
Yep, it has an asterisk. And if
So when you turn it around and look.
Wait, but we got to see, a lot of people don't know when you see shit like that. That means you got to go find. It means it's telling you something that you might need to know.
Yep.
And you go find it. And then when you go and read it, it'll list the ones that it kills, right?
Yep.
And you'll find that this kills the same thing that Lysol kills. Exactly the same exact ones. Okay. It says right here, kills 99.9% of germs, sanitizing in 20 seconds. That's what it says.
Mm-hmm. That's the difference.
Yeah.
20 seconds.
20 seconds. Lysol, which
because the exact same ingredients that are in there,
mm-hmm.
like for it to work, it's got to be a minimum 1%, which that is, right? Lysol is 1.25%.
So it kills quicker.
Yep, 10 seconds quicker. I've had 10 seconds of wait.
No.
Save $3 because a can of Lysol is $4. That can was $1.
This can is $1. Lysol is $4, right? Size and things like that. And Lysol kills it 10 seconds faster.
I can wait.
Yeah, I can wait too for keep my money in my pocket, right? But
I can buy 3 of these and I literally had 2 cans of Lysol.
Right. And yeah, that's the little thing. So in case you cannot find Lysol, everybody, it's okay to get something like this. Okay. Amanaz, hey sister. She said, thanks for letting him speak, Bomb. I was just wondering if regular soap would be just as effective. Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
It is just as effective.
Yeah. The only difference is, see, here's the great thing. Like what's not told with this whole deal. As long as the water that you're washing your hands with is at least 110 degrees, any soap will work.
Mm-hmm.
Any soap. So why waste money on antibacterial? All it said was bacteria. Like I said, there's no asterisks on the soap to tell you what bacteria is killing. You know what bacteria is killing? The same ones you have on your hands any other day. Because your body is covered with bacteria. Some of it's good, some of it's not so good.
Right.
But it's there.
That's why you. I thought we're not supposed to be taking baths in antibacterial soap, the strong ones. You know, didn't they? Yeah,
because some of these bacteria are actually a defense.
Right, or defense to others.
Yeah, they fight off other bacteria.
Right.
So when you cats will make the argument, when you use hand sanitizer, you just weaken the hands to an infection.
Right.
Right.
That's why they said. Remember, they used to warn people of using too much sanitizer because some people had gotten so bad that they were using it so much, and they were like, those people are getting sick. They're compromising their immunity system because they're killing off the bacteria that fight off other things. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're using hand sanitizer, for example, it might kill all the bacteria on your hands. But then if you went and checked them again in an hour, under a microscope or a gram stain, they're back.
They're back, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't kill them forever. You're producing them all the time, and they're there. So they come and die and vanish the whole night. All you did was just wipe your hands clean.
Right. And that's why we usually wash our hands before we eat. Right? You want to get the bad ones. You're going to get the good ones too, but you get them away so you can eat without putting certain bad things in you, right?
Yeah.
But sitting around washing your hand all day, that's something you shouldn't be doing,
generally, but I'm up to, if I had to put a number on it, probably doing it 40 times a day now.
Yeah, but you're in the medical field, you gotta work.
I was going to say now because it's back to the same doubling up. Instead of it used to be okay, see somebody, take your gloves off, wash your hands. Now it's wash your hands, go see somebody,
and then
take your gloves off, wash your hands.
Right. And I'm, the housewife, so I'm gonna be honest. I only wash my hands usually when I'm about to cook, right? When I'm about to go in and mess with food, and shit. Let me see what else. Generally, that's
But
it, or unless I got some mess on it. But other than that, me dealing with food or preparing food to feed people, that's the only time I really wash my hand. Indoors. Outdoors now, if I go and I touch, like I watch the weirdest thing, and I used to do it too, but then I stopped when I started realizing it's dumb. You go in the women's bathroom, right? You use the bathroom, you wash your hands, and then we
you walk
open the
over and open
goddamn
the
door.
Yep.
Open the door. You walk over and open the door that everybody who else was in that bathroom,
Whether they wash their hands or not. But
they
you know, the
touched
beauty
their
of that is somebody washed their hands, didn't dry them, grab the door handle. Remember what I said? 5 things that spreads infections.
water,
Fluids.
yeah.
So if I walk out and grab this with my wet hands, guess what? That handle's still wet. All you need is somebody walking through there with something to grab it again. And now you just
Passed on something.
That door handle is dangerous all of a sudden.
Right. Now, it's important to also say, just because I grab the handle that might have the virus, it don't mean that I might get it, but I could transport it to others, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So I might not get it, whether I have immunity to it, or maybe I just don't touch certain things that were getting me. But then I'm gonna go handle some food or shake somebody else's hand. Could that, like? So I'm asking because I don't know. So let's say somebody sick, they're at the hospital just like I am. But I'm there healthy, right? I'm just there for a checkup. They're sick. They go to the bathroom, like you said, they wash their hands, but they don't dry them.
Mm-hmm.
Or even let's say they do wash their hands, but before they dry them, they turn the handle off, right?
Big mistake too.
Yeah. I go in right after them and I turn the handle to turn the water on. Right. So now I have the virus, right? Or
no,
I might not have
on that one because like on that, it's same thing with the handle. It's not. I wash my hands and grab the handle. That water is, to use a medical term, aseptic.
Aseptic.
Yep, it's just my bacteria on there, not anything else. Now, you grab the same handle and it's wet, and you have some virus, or even just to stay medical, it's not aseptic anymore. It's contaminated. Because now it's 2 different, sources on there instead of just me.
Right.
Yeah. Same thing with the handle. It's gonna be aseptic when I turn it off, right? But now when you go to turn it back on, it's contaminated. But then, now you make, I mean, you see cats, like I did. Somebody will wash it, leave the water. I mean, wash their hands, leave the water running, grab the towel, turn it off. Cool. But sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
And then depending on how you are, because that's like with us to tell them, hey, look, like, Stella, what are you doing? You just washed your hands and then you turn it off with your hand. Well, how else am I supposed to do it? So I know they taught you the same thing they taught me. Use your elbow.
Oh, they taught you turn it off with your elbow? They didn't teach me that. I don't know why in the hell. I used to do it. I used to turn the water on, wash my hands, and then turn the water off. Just with regular with my hand.
It's kind of like, okay, so you just went from aseptic, or in a perfect world, sterile. Because if you use like Podine, soap to kill everything, then your hands are sterile. But you can't turn the water off with your sterile hands because your hands literally had nothing on them. So what do you do to turn the water off? You use your elbow. Or like at the hospital, they have foot pedals for the water.
Right.
Because
that's what the doctors right.
So like for us, like to stay sterile or aseptic is basically from the waist up. So you can't, like, once you wash your hands, you keep your hands above your waist, don't touch your shirt, the whole 9. If we establish a sterile field, then guess what? This is nothing. No bacteria, no virus, no nothing. The minute I touch it, it just became aseptic.
Now it has to be washed out again.
Exactly. Because this has to be sterile. Now, if it's not a sterile environment, not touching this aseptic, it's okay. It's just me. So now this can only be, whatever we're doing can only be me and one other person, which is the patient.
Right. So that means nobody else could touch that tube, or nobody else can.
Exactly.
You the only person.
Or if you're sterile,
unless they got on gloves. Right. Okay.
But you're sterile. But now it's aseptic. So, but now it's technically contaminated. So either I'm out and you stay in and you're sterile, but it's still aseptic. So
Hey,
whatever.
Chris. Chris said he just woke up. Oh, okay. Chris, what's going on? Chris is the one who so this is let me tell a little story about Chris, unless you want to come up here and share it. So Chris had the coronavirus, y'all. I don't know when do you ever get rid did he have it? Do he have it? Had it? I'm not sure, okay? But I can only tell you that based on his story, he thought he had the flu. He said he was feeling
That's
bad.
the problem. Everybody thinks it's the flu, but then it's the same thing. Like you had a flu and you had cats like the ones that are dying. It's all right, I'll be okay. And then you get to a point where the flu just exaggerated some other problem.
Right.
And then you die.
And then you die. Right. So that's what when I was telling you yesterday. I was like, people dying from the flu, but those people dying from the flu, they're not going to the doctor.
Right. Or they're going when it's too late.
Oh, when it's too late,
the same thing with this or SARS. Or even better, like to say, hey, look, with all these, like it seems like there's some potential outbreak that pops up every year, sometimes twice a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
But most of them, they'll figure out a way to get out in front of them, right? And I made the argument the one that everybody should have been the most panicked about was West Nile disease.
West Nile disease.
Because unlike everything else, where this can get transmitted from, like, say, me to you, mosquitoes were in the game too.
Yeah, they had other things.
Now you can't see the mosquitoes coming. There's no mosquito that's flying weird or no shit like that. He bites your ass and he had it. Guess what?
You got it. Right. I think I remember people freaking out about that, but I didn't because when you hit the name itself made me think, oh, that's some shit I can get only if I go to West Nile, you know?
Yep.
I never thought of it as it's right here in my backyard.
Yeah. And then that was the other one. And then you had like this, horse in South Jersey got it. He didn't get it from me riding. So where else? And then it's got to be mosquitoes. So then you had like, especially New Jersey, I think Delaware kind of signed off on it too, that there's a fish that all it does is swim around and eat mosquito eggs. Yeah, they were releasing them by the truckload. Yeah, we're going to control their little asses too. Yeah. And then they sprayed for them, so I was like, okay. Yeah, so that's one where it's kind of like, okay, once they figure out how to get in front of it, and then Chris is probably going to be somebody that's going to get contacted sooner or later, because if he had it and he's fully cured, then he probably
got
has
the
antibodies.
Yeah, they're going to be kind
of. He's going to be their new best friend. That they're probably going to ask him if they haven't already. If he's in there, he can answer. But if they haven't, they're going to ask him sooner or later. Hey, can you come in and draw? We want to draw some blood, for some testing.
Yeah, because he survived. You know what I mean? And so based on his story, he just started feeling, sick. And you know how you men are. You men be like, look, I could deal with this. He said he took him some something like NyQuil or something, Theraflu or something like. I think he said Theraflu. And he figured out, I'll sweat it out like you do.
Mm-hmm.
You listen, you men are the same. Y'all don't want to go to no doctors, and y'all figure y'all sweat it out. You do that all the time. I know my husband will get, he don't even sometimes, most time you don't even take medicine. You would just put on all your sweats, get in bed, even though it's hot already, and you just figure you'll sweat it out. Okay. So he said basically he did the same thing. I was like, yep, that's my husband. He said then he woke up.
Your number one defense.
Yeah. Oh, sweating it out? Yeah, heat.
Raising your core body temperature.
Oh, okay.
That's why they said one of the clues is a fever. This one just seems to be one of the ones that's more fever resistant.
Oh, so it's lasting even through the fever.
Yeah.
That's why it's so Okay, so he said he wasn't feeling well, and he said so he took a Theraflu. He said next day, it wasn't no better, and he took it again, and he said then it got so to where he was just feeling real tired or wasn't feeling well. So he went to the doctors. He went to the emergency room, and they told him, they sent him back home. I guess they said he had the flu. Sent him home. He said a few days later go by. He's like, I can't take this. I think by then, you remember how I was feeling when I was sick? I felt I was begging you to take me to the please, baby, take me, please. I said, I feel like I'm dying. And he said, so he went back in, and he said they kept him, right? But they never told him he had coronavirus. He's sitting in there the whole time. They even blocked him off and shit. They probably had a feeling that maybe that's what it was. And I think maybe because his breathing is why they kept him, stuff like that. He said, not until he got out, because they wouldn't release him until he could breathe enough. He didn't need the oxygen and things like that. They released him. He said he was at home when they called him to tell him that he had the virus. We want to know how in the hell. I just found out that it take at least 48 hours to get the results back. How is it that these athletes and things like that, how they know they got the virus so quickly? If that makes sense. See, that's why I think they got some people to go up there, look good, and lie and say they got some shit. Because if we see some people, remember what I said earlier? We saw Tom Hanks and his wife looking all beautiful and shit, and they both saying they got it. That would make us feel good. We would feel like, oh, they got it. It don't look like they dead. Don't look like they're dying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can make that argument with like Magic Johnson. But the only difference is like take the basketball players for example.
Uh-huh.
They have a medical staff. Like the team has a medical staff, right? So depending on the team and how much money they want to spend, they might have pardon the pun, but a killer medical staff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then that staff has access to to consult with other doctors. So like the prime example is Rudy Gobert. Yeah, for all his dumbness, making fun of and touching all the microphones and stuff.
Oh my God.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe at halftime he's in the locker room and says like, yeah, I don't feel 100%. And it's just the flu. Yeah. But then the doctors, you know what? Maybe not. Yeah, he's in his 20s and he peak of health the whole nine. And this doesn't seem like the flu. And it's like, Iris, get one of those swabs and we're gonna check him and send this over to Dr. Jenkins, over in infectious disease. Have him check that. And then like 2 days later, he's got it.
Mm-hmm.
The test came back from the incubator and it's like, yeah, that's it. He's got it.
So yeah, they could, because they say it takes so many days for anything to grow, right? That's how they test it, right? They put it like you do when you put it there, and if it grew, and then how they
like if you do a culture, you could literally know in 24 hours, you know for sure in 48.
Oh, you could know, you could kind of tell because you see it growing, right? You see something growing that shouldn't be growing.
This here looks like bacteria X,
and
then the next day is that's who it is.
It is, yeah.
And then like with them with more money, they may say, well, back to like I said, like some like just to use like gonorrhea for example. They there's a culture. That's gonorrhea. Yeah, but you know what? This doesn't look like just any old gonorrhea. So you got your culture. Now you know what it is. So now the next step is see what'll kill it.
Mm-hmm.
So now they just take that culture and then put it like different medicines on it or different reactions, and they'll you know what? Penicillin's not gonna do shit with this. So
hey Gemini.
Hey Bomb, how you doing?
I'm fine. I knew you was a female, but then your picture I couldn't tell.
Oh, I changed it. And I changed my name.
What you wanted to share, sister?
Oh, I just wanted to I put a link in the chat with a doctor from South Korea that provides an excellent explanation of the condition of its origin, how it spread, the symptoms, what they're doing to treat patients, and what they're doing to prevent it.
Yeah, because South Korea got way out in front.
Oh, okay. So they know what's going on.
Yes.
Especially by now. So look, Chris said it took 8 days to get his
test back.
Yeah, that's a
And
long
the problem,
time.
it is. And the problem that we're having as a nation is that we're behind in testing. We're behind because they downplay the symptoms, they downplay the virus, they downplay the severity of the condition, period. So we're far, far behind in our reaction to this. And because we're a nation that thrives on liberties, and I'm using air quotes, liberties,
Mhm.
where we're not accustomed to people telling us how to live and what to do and when we can do things, we're so far behind. Whereas in South Korea, those people are told you these are the times that you're going out, these are the times that you're coming in. Everybody is wearing masks, everybody is doing prevention things, but we're not,
Right. We,
because our the leader that's in place told us that it wasn't that serious, um that we didn't have to really worry about it, and a lot of people are saying it's a hoax, and the testing for lay people isn't the same as the testing for people that
With
have
money.
money or that are celebrities. Those people are getting their test back within
Yep.
24 hours.
Frontline privileges.
right.
It's
And then
this is
people
who?
like, right,
Yeah, I
and
know.
people
We
like
do it.
Chris and people like us, or if you're because I'm not currently like seeing patients. I fortunately can work from home because of
Mhm.
the field that I'm in now. But I worked in the operating room, I worked in ICU, I worked physically, I worked in those areas. So, I know what your husband is referring to. But people like us, we're not getting our test back for 8 days. And what people don't realize is they're saying that reasonably healthy people are dying from the condition, and it's not just, and it's like, oh, they had it for a week. No, I don't believe it's that they had it for a week. I believe that the symptoms got so much as
Or
to where they
presented.
went in. Exactly, they went in and they were tested, and they tested positive for a week, but it's not known how long they could have had that condition with no symptoms.
Right.
Yep.
And that's see. So since you just verified that you medical and you can sound like what you saying is true. Has anything my husband said was incorrect? Because some people be like, "Oh, you lying." Was there anything that you disagreed with?
Well, there were some things, and I said it in the chat. I don't remember like exactly. Um, oh, well, the one thing about the mask, there are not enough masks here that for prevention that do, and I'm doing air quotes, true prevention like they have in South Korea.
Hmm.
They're trying to get those masks from medical personnel because so many Americans just bought up what they could buy up, and we have an epidemic of hoarding materials that we can't possibly use, just like the guy who bought up all those hand sanitizers. I
Yep.
think
You
it's in
see what they did to
Tennessee.
him?
What they did to it?
And
Made him donate it.
he bought,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Had like
So
71,000
right,
bottles, right?
what he thought he was
right.
gonna gouge? What he
Yep.
thought he was
He
gonna
thought
raise?
he was gonna get rich by selling them. Like bought them for $1 or something, and he was gonna sell them for $5 or something. And they caught wind of it and gave him a choice: go to jail or donate it to charity.
Damn.
Right. Therefore, there's not even enough protective masks for medical personnel. There's not enough ventilators for medical personnel. The treatment is so short, and the availability of treatment is so short that we're having the numbers are not inflated. The numbers are skewed because we weren't doing the testing. So it seems as though we're having a rapid uprise in the number of cases, wherein it's not really that, it's that we weren't doing the testing, and
Right.
it's that the testing is taking so long for certain people. So we're not seeing the numbers rise as high as the number.
That we
I
just
think
reporting. It's so
exactly,
right.
exactly. And so it's
Yeah.
not that so many people are being recently infected as it is that people were already infected and didn't know. Just
Right.
like we could have a vast number of people who have recovered who probably previously tested positive, and they don't even know that they had the condition. So
Right. That's what I think happened with my husband. I remember him getting sick. I'm not sure if you remember sometime in December,
November.
November. Yeah.
November. It was
He got sick and he was doing that cold coughing. Remember, he was like, I'm coughing, but I don't know why. Remember, you don't remember that?
yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So he had it, and we didn't know. Like I said, he won't go to the hospital. He was even he would wake up breathing real hard and shit like that. because I'm up all night. I recognize. I think he had it and survived it. You know what I mean? And
Right.
but would they even be able to know? Would they be able to know that they could tell if you have antibodies? Like if they tested you, and would they know that you had it?
Well, that's where people like Chris, once they find it, yeah, then they'll know to go test people for the antibody.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
but okay, in Chris's case, and I hope he's able to come up soon. In Chris's case, he didn't find out that his test result was positive until he went home.
Right.
And then
Yep.
he asked, "Do I need to come back in?" And I would love to ask Chris because I don't remember if he said it. I would love to ask him if he got his test result when he got home that it was positive. Did they want him to come back in for to ensure that he had 3 negative tests because you're supposed to have so many negative tests before you're sent back out.
Yeah, I don't
And
think he
that's
ever got
what
a negative test. I think because what they doing, they don't know. They don't know what to do. So remember, they sent him home before they even knew whether he had it or
right,
not.
exactly. When he started breathing properly, I believe his O2 stats were, I think he said 98% or something like that. When his O2 stats were like 98%, they weaned him down. I think he said he started at 4 or 6 liters of oxygen, and they weaned him down to none. And I believe his stats when he went home was like 98% or something like that. I
Right.
don't quite remember. That's why I hope he comes up. But one lady tested positive. I believe she got a negative test or 2 negative tests. She went back out and was reinfecting people and had to go back in. So it's not enough known. People need to take the proper precautions and stop believing that it's a hoax. And let's say for some crazy reason it is a hoax. What is it going to? It doesn't
Benefit.
Yeah, who's going to benefit from it as a hoax?
It doesn't make economical sense for this to be a hoax. It just doesn't. It's ruined the economic system. It ruins big businesses, and you know that they're for the rich. So they're not trying to do anything to hurt their pockets.
Absolutely
It's
not.
not just it's not just affecting people, underclass people or middle class people or lower class people. It's not just affecting those people. It's affecting big businesses. And the people that put the money into the economy is middle and lower class people.
Right. And if we're not working, then we're not gonna be spending no money.
Exactly.
Except at Walmart.
And people need to realize also that this stimulus, everything comes with a price.
Yep.
Even with the stimulus,
I said the same thing.
you're going to have to put this down as income at the end of the year. And some employers are saying that they're going to take that money from their employees as if they paid it out themselves. So it's not like it's free money to a lot of people. And seriously, if you have a certain if there's certain you have a certain number of members of your family in the same home, that's and you've been out of work for a certain amount of time. I'm not saying no money is, I'm not downplaying that money is useful, but the
Right.
amount of money that you normally spend, that's just it could be so minimal to people. And
twelve
it's
hundred
really
dollars is what my
right.
my husband get. That like that's a weekly pay. Like that's like a weekly, 2 weekly something check after all the income tax and all that come out. And they trying to give that to us once, but I heard in other countries they getting more money and they getting it monthly, so people can
But the
survive.
difference is but the difference in those countries is their political system. A lot of those countries aren't democratic; they're monarchies, and so or like in the
Social.
U, yeah, like and they have what is it called? Um, their government, they have national health services. So
Yeah.
we in America they don't have national health services.
Right.
Just like people were saying, people have been misinformed thinking that if you contract the virus, that the government is going to pay for your treatment. No, they're only paying for the test. And again, it doesn't profit them to pay for a certain type of test. That's why people are being tested and not getting results for so many days. And then some people are getting a better test that comes out the next day.
Hmm.
Um, it's just it's sad. This is completely sad and disheartening. And I don't. One thing that your husband was saying is about the inflation of the numbers, and I just don't believe that the numbers are inflated. I believe that there's a difference in.
No, I wasn't saying they were inflated. It was like if you listen, like they're saying, like you said with the test results, right?
Right.
That like to watch the news and say like here, because I mean, sadly, I'm watching it almost any day. It'll say like like Delaware, for example. They said, oh, 32 more cases. All right, those cases didn't pop up today. Those are just positive tests from maybe a week ago. You there?
I'm here.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought I didn't know you
Yeah,
were
yeah.
finished.
Okay. No, I was just saying, but like so they're just saying, but I was saying like on the news, they were saying, oh well, millions will die because it's like 10 times worse than the flu. But then it was, well, yeah, but if the flu is killing 0.1%, this is gonna kill 1%. But we're trying not to have that 1% die. Yeah, that's what the
But
guy was saying.
well, I guess the difference is that you had the vaccinations and they were able to get out in front of a lot of the things that with the flu, with the regular air quotes
Right.
flu. And I
Yeah.
understand that you were talking about that's another thing that I was saying in the chat. You were talking about the difference with the COVIDs and how the flu may have this strand of flu may have been COVID-10 or blah blah blah. But is not the origin the difference? Because like I think SARS was a bird or something like that. It wasn't a bat, it was something else, was it not?
Now COVID-19 is a bat.
Right. But what was SARS?
I can't remember, but it was some yeah, like the first thing, and I'm gonna just throw the current government under the bus. The first thing they'll say is that it's China's fault with these open air markets, and that's where we get these viruses from. Yeah,
Right, but
so
it was a different origin. The SARS
right,
is of a different origin.
yeah,
And
it
that
was a
that was
different
my
one.
point.
Yeah, it
And
was
so
different. It
so
wasn't because it wasn't an animal. It was just like some quote unquote virus that came from China because
right,
that's
and
who
that's
got
what I
hit
was
the
trying to
hardest.
right. That's what I was trying to say in the chat. The origin makes the difference between how we're the effect of the virus and how we're treating it and our symptoms and the epidemiology of it. So that's what
Right.
I was saying in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
Because
that's what I was
it's
saying. Like with SARS, for example, see, China clearly got hit the hardest with SARS. And the
right,
only difference with SARS versus this one was that China shut the whole country down. And then SARS wasn't as bad here as like say anywhere else or as bad as China. The only difference is like you said, the government was slow to react. When they first started saying that and I forgot what they called it first, the Wuhan virus, from the Wuhan district, and was like, oh, it's this bad and it's spreading. And then when it started popping up in like Beijing and Peking, and then all of a sudden it started traveling, we were slow to react. And so now you had casting just to do the what if. What if you had a plane with 300 people fly from China and land in Seattle? Because Seattle, as far as I remember, was ground zero. So you had
mm,
300 people that are infected get off a plane in Seattle and scatter into 30 different directions. The next
right.
thing you had hotspots popping up everywhere because you didn't track these people.
And then we have to think that travel is more efficient these days. So as we progress, so does our disease
Yep.
Mm.
process.
That's why like
So
we're slow to react, and it's like, but what if? Yeah, because it's and then
well,
here it's more free.
and I could care less what people think as far as 45 is concerned. He dispatched the whole uh the cabinet, not the cabinet, but you know what I mean, the people that were in place for the pandemic. He dispersed them
Yeah,
when
yeah.
it came
Oh
from
man, I forgot what the
uh, it actually originated with the Bush administration. It didn't originate with President Obama. It originated with the Bush administration, and then President Obama's administration built on it. So it everything that he's done to counteract everything that President Obama did is not just a President Obama thing. It was things that he took from that President Obama took from
from
the
Bush.
previous administration. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't it's so nonsensical. Why just to spare money for people that already have money. And it blows my mind that people don't see and cannot hear what we hear when this man opens his mouth. Every time he opens his mouth, there's nothing but lies. And I
Right.
don't even three sentence lies because he's incapable of forming sentences in literate conversation. It
Well, you
just
know what
blows my
I've heard.
mind.
When I talk to some people who support him, or even if they don't, there's people who believe, well, Bomb, everybody lies, so they just figure he just like a normal person like they are. And I'm thinking, but he's the president.
Okay, and exactly, but even so, if someone says that to me, I don't have anything to say to you because apparently there's something inherently wrong with you. If you
Yep.
allow
Right.
that many lies to come out of your mouth that much, it's something
Mhm.
inherently wrong with you. You have a
But
character
when
that I don't want to be around. You're a dangerous person. If you can
and when
compare
you
yourself to
co-sign on
that
them now,
man,
Yeah.
yes. If you could compare
you
yourself to that man, there's something inherently wrong with you. And I don't want anything to do with you. You're a dangerous person.
He's a dangerous person.
He
A lot of people
is.
about to die because of his lie, and he keep going back to how great he's doing. He knows
well,
people dying, but he at the end he says, "I'm doing a great job."
but his bigger problem is like if you listen to him, all he ever says and he's worried about is the stock market. That is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the average worker. Yeah, and it's kind of like you'll be all right. Well, the stocks are doing okay. We're all right. And it's no,
But
you were slow to
and
react. Yeah, and then you disbanded this, which none of us
right.
can remember this department. But like in his press conference, and that's what I was saying earlier. Whoever this Tony dude is, he keeps throwing him under the bus. He was like, "Oh, I didn't disband that. Who did that, Tony?" And then there was this other one. Is Tony said that you guys were getting your kids, and then like when the governors were saying, "Hey, look, this cat is breeding this that you got states bidding for masks and ventilators, and then whoever will throw the most money at company X that's the problem."
Mhm.
Well, for a standing president to say that to instruct people not to give aid to a state because they weren't nice to me.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
my
God.
God, did he do that?
Oh yeah, all this is. I mean, like he's been locking horns with Cuomo for weeks, and he can't. Like she said, he can't get his lies straight.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
at
And
it's
I
first
don't
it's
sad.
I.
and in defense of this illiterate, ignorant man, he is not the sole proprietor of these lies. It falls on the Senate and the House. It falls
Yes,
with
it
them
does.
too,
Yes, it
because
does.
he can't make those singular decisions. That's why we have the government in place that we have in place. It's a checks and balances. So he's not the one. He's not the only one making these decisions. So people need to be when all is said and done. People need to be going. We black people are so concerned about going to the poll in November. No, you need to be going to the poll at a local level
That's right.
Yeah.
because
Nope.
the electoral college is the one that puts the vote in for the president. It's not a popular vote. We vote for popularity. It's not a popular vote. It's electoral college. So if you vote at a local level, you're putting people in place that have an ear to your voice. So
Right.
if you don't vote at the local level, you're really not doing yourself a favor to vote in November. It
That's
doesn't
right.
even
That, yeah.
matter. Vote
It don't even matter.
No.
vote at your local level and put people in that hear your voice or that are voicing the same things that you voice. And realistically, no, nobody's going to take everything that they it wouldn't be politically sound for them to come out and say, oh, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this. We know they're going to lie and say that they're going to do blah, 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 and then do
Right.
X. But as long as there's someone you can look at and say, okay, this person has a semblance of what I believe, a semblance of what's going to be good for the people, this is who I'm going to vote for. And the likelihood of them representing you at a reasonable pace will be, you know
Greater.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. He was slow to start it, and people are saying he's doing such a great job. I'm thinking, what? he don't know anything about anything, and he mostly having a great job at just starting mess on Twitter. You know, he like fighting people.
It's extremely disheartening and discouraging to see someone of his caliber get up and speak and have people back him and continuously back him and bash the people that just want their voices heard. They just want the truth, and they want to have someone that they can have confidence in, that they can rely on, that he's doing what he can for the people.
Right,
And this is not just about business and money, because at the end of the day, if you don't have the people, you don't have the money either.
right.
But that's his blind spot. Like the original stimulus package. Yeah, like to hear one of my coworkers. Yeah, damn Democrats holding this money up, this, and this. It was no. Yeah, the original stimulus package was only going to benefit big business. It wasn't going to benefit the average Joe. Yeah. And even then, like, at least they put in provisions for like smaller businesses. Like here, like I'm watching one literally down the street from us that's dying as it is. Yeah, they don't have a phone. This right here will probably kill them. So now,
Right.
hopefully,
There.
with the new stimulus, they can get some money to try and stay alive. Under the old one, they
Well,
wouldn't have.
are they pouring that much money into small businesses? I've heard that there's so many businesses that won't even benefit from this quote unquote stimulus package. There are small
Yeah,
businesses, especially black owned businesses, that won't even
And
benefit.
that's this one. That's why I'm saying at least under this one, there is a shred of hope. Yeah, hopefully. I don't know if it's going to be enough to help them because, like I said, like they had a phone number, right? And it was a restaurant. They had a phone number. The phone number was disconnected. But when you went to get a menu, the menus had the old number crossed out and another number on there. It was a cell phone.
mm,
Now on the cell phone, the voicemail is full. You can't even leave a message. And now you can't get anything from them because now here with the lockdown, they don't have a drive-through. So they are
Mm.
closed.
yeah,
So to me, yeah, they're almost dead
yeah. They done.
at this point. And then to say, hey, look, I mean, hopefully you can get some kind of business loan to get you back in, back on your, back to where you were. Hopefully.
Because black businesses, it's not about making millions, but it is enough to support your family. Their families on.
Yeah.
So when some shit like this go down, you can lose everything.
And the only good thing they put in that bill that I know of was that, 45, none of his business can apply for any of these loans.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
excellent.
they put that in that new one. Yeah, where he can't. And he said when he was signing something, he said he don't have to abide by something. He was basically saying, I don't care what they say. My business is gonna get some of this.
But I do know that was in there, that he couldn't apply for at least a year.
Mm.
So now what's that say? That meant that under that original one,
He would have got.
that he was going to be right at the front line because he's the one with all his hotels. That's all he's worried about. And here's somebody, and I love like to say Fox News or like my coworker because I hear it back there and to tell it, hey, look, you the one that started this argument. Take your ass back there to room 3. Take care of them. And if I hear some hollering and yelling, then I'll come in. I'll come back there. Till then, that's your headache. You started. But she's one of them. Yeah. All this and it's like, okay, if he was so magnanimous, why didn't he open any of his hotels to be hospitals?
There you go.
Because there's no
Exactly.
money in
Exactly.
that. There's none.
Mm.
Yeah. There's no money in taking care of sick people. To him, there's money in burying them.
Mm.
There's money in it, just not from our perspective. The money comes from the pharmaceuticals, and the
Oh yeah.
insurance.
Oh yeah, that's that whole running joke. I mean, there's no money in the cure. The money's in the
Right.
treatment.
Right. They probably could have killed this off, but they looking for the. They probably
Nah,
looking
this
for.
one this one they're probably looking,
You
but
think?
they're slow to react
You
and they're
don't think
trying.
they're looking for just the cure?
Oh,
Just something to. You don't think they're not looking for a cure, but they're looking to try to Just how can
There have
we?
been treatments that they've been using, but not. I don't
Successful.
believe they've. Right. The anti-malarial and the HIV drugs have been tested and proven to be of some help to the
Mm,
virus.
Nah, this is one. See, like you look at the state right now, everything is shut down. You
mhm.
want this cure.
Yeah, you want
Yeah.
to get rid
Right.
of it.
Meanwhile, when you look
Right.
around and joke and say something like, "Yeah, people been dumping millions, if not billions, into juvenile diabetes, and it's still here.
Right.
Yeah, you haven't fixed that." Yeah, because I mean, I'll joke and say, "Hey, look, when they killed smallpox, you know what, man, we can't do this. Once you kill this, there's no money."
No money be made.
Mela said there's a 10,000 SBA grant to be received within 3 days for business owners with 500 employees or less. I don't know where
Yeah, I'm about to
that
see that
source is from,
because
but that's what she said.
right.
And then, like he claimed, yeah, you had companies. I mean, that's like back to the whole American mentality with hoarding stuff. Like, see, I didn't get the email on toilet paper. So for cats to just run out and buy toilet paper by the carload, I didn't know why until one of our regulars explained it to me.
Well, what happened?
Well, people will be. I've always said it, and Mo can attest to this. That I've always been you always stock up on things that are non-perishable. I've always said stock up on your toilet paper, your paper towel, your paper goods. Always stock up on those. But that's
Yeah.
just me. I've always
Well,
been
we.
like that. I do have OCD, so I'm a three. I have three of everything. But that's my OCD. I seriously have a condition. But
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I've
that's
always
fine.
told
That's
yeah, I've always told people because those things are non-perishable, and those are the things that it's not as though they're going to expire. Your toilet paper is not going to expire. So
no.
and I don't mean in this time of crisis. I mean beforehand. People
Right.
doing
Hmm.
it now in a time of crisis and not allowing other people to get it is just selfish and it's wrong.
Yeah,
It
But
it's wrong.
is.
as a rule, I've always stocked up.
Yeah, we stock up like when my husband would say, "Hey, they running out of toilet paper." I was like the first person to say, "Why you care? Like we got toilet paper, we good." And I didn't know what was going on. Just we were getting down to this, but yeah, we keep. When he either buy it, most of you buy it now.
Yeah,
You go
or
buy,
the boys, but we'll buy like a 20 pack every month.
yeah, and we
Yeah,
don't use that much. So we ended up we haven't had to really buy no toilet paper since all this started because we already had, you know.
yeah.
And we
But
had an addition to the family. We had another woman living in here. We
yeah, so
women, y'all know women use more.
we went through it a little faster. But
Well, the one thing people can kind of take light and hard is the toilet paper situation because the toilet I believe they said 90% of the toilet paper is made in America and only 10% is imported. So
Yeah.
they'll be
actually,
able to
the bigger problem is that like 90% of the rolls are made in China.
Which mean
mm,
that what is
The
on
the
it?
rolls, yeah,
insert
yeah.
the
So that's why
insert.
I said one of my regulars works at Scott's Paper, right? So he said like, oh, the toilet paper itself is not the problem. And like for us, we're still doing the rolls. So the rolls come from China. So we have toilet paper. So I said, hey, look, how hard is it to go for y'all to switch to cordless? Because that's all we have right here. And he said, oh, it's a different machine, but we'll have it done. Ours will be ready to go cordless in like 2 weeks. Okay.
Mm.
She put the link in the chat. Boom.
Oh, okay. Let me see what she put. I did. I put the link in there for you, Mella. Wait, let me put the link
No,
in.
oh, I was
Oh
saying she
no, I
put
saw.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna put the link for her to come up. Mella. Mella likes to enjoy conversation, also. But I'm gonna check out. She put in a link to the application. Um, because there's always they when they think of small businesses, you saw how they say 500 or less employees. Large businesses are usually corporations where they got more than 500, right?
I
But
guess. I mean,
when we talk about black owned businesses, though, we talking they might only just have 10 people. You know what I mean? And so within that bill, we got to look for other things that they may say that says, well, you got to meet this. You got to make this amount of money, prove that you made this amount of money per
right.
year just to qualify. And that's what disqualify a lot of Black-owned small businesses. That's what's going to disqualify. Because I own a business, and if you're telling me I could go and get this loan like that, you know what I mean? There'll be a lot of people taking, doing that.
One thing I wanted to go back on really quickly with Mr. Baum, I forgot your husband's name. We have to give him a name because Mr. Baum is not gonna work.
You don't like Mr. Bond? which one call you? Mark?
Yeah, I'm
Mark?
fine with it.
You can call him Mark.
Mr. Mark. One thing I wanted to go back on was with the masks. And I do understand what you were saying, but some protection is better than no protection at all. I would rather people go out there with a mask on than without one,
Right.
and the chances are minimized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
we agree that.
Like that's what I was explaining to her. Like I don't have a mask where I'm working, right?
But I'm making him one.
But the minute you walk in, I'm slapping one on you because our masks are that they're one way. So it's like, hey, look, before you come in here exhaling some kind of cooties or whatever, put this on. Let's go. Yeah, but I feel fine. Okay. Guess what? You're going to feel fine with this mask on if you want to come in here.
Right. And the thing about the hand gloves is, I agree exactly. If you don't know how to don and remove them, they're practically useless. And that's what people were saying, is that you can spread more with the gloves than you can without them if you don't know what you're doing when you're putting them on and removing them.
Right. And that's why I said the thing that, like, to watch people come in sitting in our weight room, right, wearing gloves, just walk around, pick up the magazine, do the whole nine, then scratch your eye or rub your eye. Is, well, dude, your gloves are pretty much useless at this point because you could have touched anything in here. But since the buzzword right now is COVID-19, let's just say it was on that magazine. You just put it in your eye.
Right. And that's the important thing, is for people to, and it's hard because it's something that, especially if you wear glasses or you have retainers or something that will cause you to always, be touching your face, or if you normally have allergies and sinuses. The things that you do with your hands and your face on a daily basis is just you're not thinking about it. It's mechanical. And so it's your membrane, it's those mucous membranes that are being infected. And that's why they're saying, don't touch your face, don't touch your eyes, don't touch your nose, don't touch your mouth, wash your hands,
Put your fingers in your mouth.
Right.
Right. That's what my husband and I was talking about, because I was like, baby, I don't think I touched my face. But even if I did, it would be like you said, it would be something automatic.
Yep.
Yes, automatic, and probably I don't even notice that I do it. So the mask is good for that, especially, right? For those who might touch their face, they got this mask on. And you're right, it's better than
under
nothing.
the mask, but even then it's back to the same thing. What if your finger is wet and it touches a mask? Now you got a breathing area right there on your mask. That's the problem. That's why I said,
but
like, for me,
if you're touching the out, but it still gives you a mental block. It still gives you a mental block. It makes you more aware if you're wearing those things. If you're wearing glass shields, or if you're wearing a mask, it still gives you a mental block for you to think, take a second thought.
Right.
Oh wait, and realize what you're doing.
Right. But like if I had a mask on and like, remember you said sometimes your beard itch when your hair growing. If you had the mask on and you're about to scratch and then you realize you got the mask on, then you think and say, oh, let me go wash my hands. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I pretty much do that now. That's what I said. That. Like what I've been doing for 30 years. Like my face itching. I'm sitting there just bearing with it and wash my hands, dry them off, scratch my face.
Right, but you're in the medical field, so you know we talking about.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said, like, for everybody else to tell them.
Yeah.
Hey, you should wash your hands first before you wipe your eye. What? So, you're wearing gloves. How much other stuff did you touch with your gloves on? Oh. Mm-hmm.
Right. Because it's the same thing like when I'm cooking, right? People watch me cooking online and they see me, especially when I'm dealing with certain type of meats. I put on gloves. Remember you bought me some gloves.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm using it. But then I turn around with the gloves on and go and touch something else. And then I come right back to the meat without changing the gloves. That makes it almost obsolete. That's why for me it's best not even to have the gloves on. Like it's because the gloves can carry more. It seems like to me the gloves could carry more germs than my regular hands. Because at least on my regular hands, I may have some good germs that'll fight those bad germs. I don't know. Mentally, that's the way I think, So I just toss the gloves to the side. Be like, oh, this shit right here. But yeah, Gemini, thank you for coming up, sister. I miss you, by the way. In our conversations, we're gonna get back on
Yes,
board to having conversations
yeah.
and things.
It's been busy. I've been busy, and I traveled and came back. So
I'm glad you had a good time traveling.
yes, I did. I did.
That's good. That's good.
Unfortunately, I was at somewhere that didn't have high cases as we do here, but it is what it
Where do
is.
you live?
But don't ask her where she live, babe. She might not want to
No,
share.
like what state?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
She might not
all
want to
right.
share that. Yeah, we online. You don't share that kind of stuff. That stuff could be dangerous. You could tell he not used to being online, could you? Yeah, you could kind of say, what area, like what coast. You could say something like that. But yeah, we don't share that kind of stuff. People know me because I'm on here, but you know how we've been trying to protect. But yeah, so but you did have a nice time.
Yes, I did.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So you do have my husband up here. You have any other questions uh about anything you want to ask him?
Mm.
Anything. No harm. Anything you want to ask.
Oh, you're talking about outside of this? No,
Yeah.
I'm pretty solid on the two of you. So
Oh,
I,
okay.
I I don't have, yeah, I don't have those type of questions. I don't have those type of questions. I
Yeah.
just don't.
Yeah. But you know how
Somebody
some.
else may have them, but I don't. I see
Yeah.
what I see. People see what they see, and I'm good over here.
Oh, okay. Just want to, give everybody opportunity. But yeah, my husband, he's a cool person, Um, and I got him to talk about this. I was like, because me and him been talking about it. We've been talking about it for a while now. I think since the grandchild has entered, and I'm at home all the time thinking about, we want to make sure he's healthy. But then I
Right,
started thinking to myself, wait a minute. Of course I'm worried about the grandchild and the kids, but my husband, he's there too, right? He's in the mid,
right.
he's like to me, baby, it sounds like
Front
you on the
line.
front line. Yeah. You on the front line. And every time you walk out that door, there's always this possibility that you come home coughing and shit. And then next thing I know, we having funerals. I can't deal with this no more. 2 years back to back, I'm not dealing with this no more. Not purpose, So to me right now, I feel like we got some decisions to make. And you being medical, Gemini, you understand him when he say, "Hey, I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing what I could do." But how would you feel?
Right.
What is your perspective as a woman on the same level? Like, in other words, you being medical, right? And your husband, or says, "Hey, dear, I'm scared. I'm worried about you going to work." Of course, you're gonna tell him you're taking all precautions, but from a woman's standpoint, where do you?
See, and this gets into the gender roles and all that other stuff. So I mean, it goes there. There's so many implications to this one problem.
Mhm,
There's so many variables. Like being medical myself, I would understand my husband saying, "Okay, I'm going to still go out there," but there are precautions that we can do before you enter the house. We
mhm.
can set up a decontamination, so to speak, area
Yeah, we
Yep,
and
got
go
we already
out
that.
there.
did that.
Yeah, we did that.
We're
So
doing that.
I
Yeah.
mean, so if he's doing that, then I mean, and he's doing everything, the other precautions. I don't.
See, now here's one I didn't tell her, right? This happened today, and it killed everything. I did our order, right? And I'm ordering hand sanitizer by the case, soap, mask by the ton, gloves, right? And it's good Lord, we can't just do this order for this decision. Okay, I tell you what. Which one you want to do? You want to buy this stuff now, or you want to spend money on lawyers later?
Right.
Mm, yeah.
And that killed the whole argument. Is all right, we'll put the order in.
It's really,
Because it was like, hey, look, if you want us to keep coming here every day, this is what they need. So either we're gonna do this, or y'all can shut the doors right now.
Now
yeah,
there is one thing that I will say: you need to wear a mask, Mr. Mark.
that's right.
She's making it.
Yeah, I'm making it more. I'm
That's
Okay.
why I said like they're the surgical ones. So it's you walk in and it's hey look before you even say a word, put that mask on.
No,
One
but I mean for you too though. But I'm even when I worked in the operating room, I was the one that double gloved. I used the face shields. I didn't just use the goggles. I used the
um,
whole face shield and I double gloved
I
every
ordered I
procedure.
ordered I ordered face shields. I ordered not when I said gloves, I meant both, like the thin nitrile ones and then the
Right.
precaloric ones, the thicker ones. Cause someone, hey, look, I can't be touching these. All right, don't worry, we'll just get these two, and I'll be right back. And it was, hey, look, we can't just, hey, it's either this or you
And
save whatever money you saving, you spend on lawyers.
right. And let me explain the double glove. And the reason I double gloved is because you don't know there, like you said, there are microscopic holes in those gloves.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the doctors didn't double glove, but the only time that they knew that sometimes that they knew that there was a hole in the glove, and you'll understand what I'm saying. Other people may not, but when they use that Bovie and they used another instrument, one of the metal instruments, when they were clamping and they got that zap, they knew that they had a hole in the glove. So for the complete prevention, I used to double glove, and I know people will say, "Oh, that's overkill." No, it's not, because you never know when there's a hole or the first set of gloves is compromised. I'm not telling people let people go out there, but I'm just giving you a scenario, Mr. Morris.
right. Plus, you was also in you know in the operating room. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Right,
you, of course, you not only are you being safe for yourself, but also the patient. You know?
right,
Yep.
Yeah. Hey,
and that's why I was
Magnum.
saying,
Hey,
"Hi,
Hey, how you
Magnum."
doing?
I'm
Hey, how
doing
you
good.
doing, Gemini? What's up, how you doing, hubby? I hear you back there, you know.
I'm good. How
Man,
are you?
I'm chiming in on y'all, man, and y'all got a really good discussion going on. And like, because I'm a private investigator, so like, I like, I run this whole security system at the because like this is like a hospital slash hospice slash rehab center, but the
Mm-hmm.
hospital is like separated from all the rest of it. And they I mean like they're really at war because like a lot of they're running out of everything. I mean hand sanitizer, they're running out of that. They're running out of masks. I mean like they're giving them one mask to wear until it is like ruined. You know what I'm saying? And if you're walking around with this mask on and you're going from room to room, and the place, I can't, I ain't gonna deliver the name of the place, but at the same time, I mean, it's already there. It's in there. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
what's crazy about it is a fucking doctor brought it in from a different hospital that he works on his days off there.
Bam.
Yeah, and he was sick as a dog. I mean, sweating like a hog. He was freezing, but he's sitting there sweating and all that stuff, and everybody's looking at him like, this dude got that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like messed up because these are all my friends. And I know it's only going to be a few of them that's actually going to stick it out because a lot of them are actually thinking about after this, just totally leaving the medical field because, it wouldn't make sense to constantly keep putting yourself in danger like this if the company that you work for is not going to protect you. You feel me?
Right. I feel you.
Yeah. That's why I said when I made my argument, it was dead right there. Is okay. We'll get it for you. And I know some of the stuff, yeah, like the telling well, I already know. Yeah, because of the rush, the hand sanitizer is not going to come in.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but it's
But
more than at
the
the
And
other
it's
stuff.
company
Okay.
level. It's more than at the company level at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's not just
Yeah.
Oh
that
yeah,
the company isn't getting it for you. It's that they're not able to get it for you because of the production where
right.
it's
That's why I
produced
said
at.
I know it because
Right, and
like
I was
last
speaking to
quarter.
Magnum specifically. I was speaking
Oh,
to Magnum
Mhm.
specifically.
oh,
No.
But
But
yeah.
yeah,
Magnum was saying
I
that
understand.
the actual doctor is the one who exposed. You saying the doctor exposed the patients?
That
Yes, because
too.
he was in there working sick and everybody saw it. And
Yeah.
like,
and
he was the only
it's
person they weren't checking they weren't checking his temperature or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And he's
it's
going
the
over
reuse
here.
of the medical. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
The mask. Because I know, because I'm thinking the same thing, that these cats just giving you one mask and telling you that's it till August. No. Yeah, that's useless.
So I'm making his mask, Gemini, I'm making a mask, right, where with a pocket so you could just put the filters in. So even and it's washable and reversible. So on one side is his camo side, the other side I know what a color that I know he wears, and every day he'll be able to, or even if he want to change, it's almost like
Nice.
changing the mask by just taking the filter out and putting another one in. So
Nice.
That
Right,
way,
and the fabric part can be rewashed.
right,
Right.
every day as soon as he come off work, he throw that in the washer with the rest of his clothes. Remember, he said he set up a little decontamination area downstairs in the other bathroom.
Downstairs bathroom.
Yeah,
Like come in, go in there, decontaminate the shoes, put everything in the washer, and then take a shower.
And then he could deal with the grandchild afterwards. He could get his little kiss and hug from me afterwards. But I'm being concerned about him on his end. So,
I mean, like in my situation where I'm at, I mean, like it's so many different varieties of people that are working there, and like they that nobody's allowed to bring food in and stuff like. See, I used to sit at the front desk and stuff like that, but since I'm a PI, I can't be in the building because if I sue them, you know what I'm saying. That will be different from if somebody that's employed by their company, you know what I'm saying, sues them. So
right.
I'm outside and I'm looking at all my friends. They always come, like, when they come to smoke a cigarette or something, come outside and stuff like that. They'll whistle or something, you know what I'm saying? Y'all be like, oh, okay, what's going on? Because, all of those women, because I've been there for a while, and all of them are my friends, like close friends, you know what I'm saying? And like, I know all their personal business. They trust me, and I'm watching them. I'm like, they're putting their lives in danger because they don't know what type of situation their body's actually in, because I mean, who knows, I mean, like,
Right.
everybody has a weakness, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's 100% perfect when it comes to health, and I feel bad for them. And the only reason why they're doing it is they're like, oh, I'm gonna stack this money and stuff like that. But man, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? You're doing it because you want to provide for your family, but at the same time, you might leave your family because you got sick off of something that your body couldn't handle. And that's a very sad situation for anyone.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't know what I'd do if something happened to my husband behind this. And I know he love his job, by the way. He love his job, right? I don't want to speak for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I know he's always been the working type of man, you know what I mean? Providing for his family, I know that makes him feel good. But I need him to understand that we need him to be here to continue to provide, and we don't need him to be I don't need to be visiting nobody, no caskets, nowhere.
Right. Especially the one that you love,
Right. Yeah, I can't. And so I know I'm asking a lot from him, but like he said, he knows a lot about what he's talking about. That way he could, you could prevent a lot of things, right? Is what you're saying. You're saying, hey, you're being very careful.
Yeah.
So,
but honestly, and I will say this, and the nurses were honestly telling me straight up, he brought this shit in here. And like, if they, if they don't start doing something right real quick, because everybody wants to walk out. And if they do a walk out on that place, you know how many people are gonna die in that building?
It probably a lot of people. Hey, Curlin, if the medical people did a walkout, this country is gonna be it's gonna be bad, I bet.
But and then see, like what he's saying, I don't know how they're structured, but see, I have enough like sway down the hall that if I go say something will change. And that's why I said, like, with the whole, like, hey, y'all want to spend this now? I tell you what. Yeah, I didn't say it. They already knew it. I can go down the hall and talk to Carl. I guarantee he'll be in here then.
But anyway, so yeah, we need to. So do y'all think the medical people, the police, and the people who out there working every day, including, because I don't want to minimize this, including the goddamn people who deliver packages, because I'm gonna be honest, without Amazon, baby, Well, I be in this house going crazy. Amazon.
Amazon post office, but I don't know what Amazon is doing for their employees because
They about to go on strike. But do you think
cats,
they should get hazardous pay? That's my question.
Yeah,
I think all y'all.
they are, but at the same time,
they are what?
They're getting hazardous pay.
Who?
Amazon.
No, they're not. They on strike. They're going on. They think.
Oh, wait a minute. That's Amazon. I'm talking about like the delivery cat.
You talking about the the part like I was
delivering. The ones delivering. They're getting hazardous pay.
Hey, can I go? Hey, nah, but like the delivery guys that deliver the medication to my establishment, you know what I'm saying? When they come, they're like so nervous, like, oh my God, this place it's like, because they know
they won't pull up and just throw it out the window and drive off.
That's how my son was. My son said he pulled up. Remember he told us, he said he pulled up with a package. He said, and the people he was handing the package to, they was in mask and whole get up, right? But he said there was in gloves and covered head to toe. And he started being scared based on that. He was like, well, damn, they know something I don't know.
That's exactly what they're doing. And it's crazy because like where I'm at, like okay, now they buzz them in, right? They can't go no further than the doorway. But at the same time, you don't know where the hell they're bringing this stuff from. So they bring their little box in, open it up. Because now they're checking the medications at the front desk and separating them and taking them to their proper places. But at the same time, you don't know who was touching it before it came in. It's like there's no way to win. I mean, like, and as far as these masks go and like wearing the mask and stuff like that, I mean, like you have to touch that to take it off of your face. And then when you put it back on, it's like it's still on your face, and everything you touch it's almost impossible to avoid what's going on. And it's just going to keep doubling day by day.
That's why you have to know how to properly place your mask on and how to properly take it off, as well as how to take your gloves off and put them back on and put a different set on. But I understand what you're saying. If there's not enough equipment to do that, then you're still at risk. But for the people that are at home or the people that are not in the medical field, it's a lot easier for them to do that. So not doing so is not an excuse. You can still do that. And then you have people that also are saying it's difficult for them because they already have respiratory issues because they have sleep apnea or something like that. But I just encourage you, if at all possible, when you go out, if you have what I do is when I'm in the car, I don't wear it when I'm in the car. Obviously, if I'm in the car by myself. So what I do is when I get ready to get out of the car, I put it on and I put my gloves on. And then I have a plastic bag in the car. And so when I take it off and take my gloves off, I know how to properly do that. And I put it in the plastic bag and I have a whole process that I go through to do that. But if you're in contact with the public, whatever you can do to prevent the spread or prevent from catching the virus, you need to do that. Especially when you have a household full of people that's depending on you to do that.
Right. So that's Gemini, it's a good conversation because like you said, like when some of us say, hey, the mask might not be enough, it's better than nothing. You're right. But also educating on how to use the mask. People just think, okay, it's a mask, just put it on your face. But no, you have to know how to remove it and put it on, when to, when not to touch it. And don't you agree that education with the mask is far more better than just a mask?
Right. Oh yes, of course. The education with the mask and the gloves is important.
And the gloves,
yes.
Right.
But it's also, and Mark will attest, Mr. Mark will attest to, it's difficult to just tell you. It's something that needs to be demonstrated so that people will know, especially when you're talking about taking your gloves off, because I can tell you, but it might not make sense.
To watch them. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then for us, it's like, Jack, do we really need to put a sign up to tell you to put your gloves in this trash can instead of just taking them off and throwing them in the parking lot?
Right. And it's the way, it's also the way you put them on and the way you take them off. The biggest thing is not to make contact with your skin when you're doing it. Again, if you're doing it and you're near I have and I have OCD. So it's the mental gymnastics that I go through to do what I do is great. So I even getting to the sink and washing my hands, and I use paper towels to turn on and off the faucets in my own home. So
Mm.
I practice the same thing I would in the hospital that I do at home. At home is the same thing I would do at the hospital, even though it's just it's not. I don't have a group of people coming in and out of my house, but still I practice the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's crazy? At first, when all this was going down, they told the nurses that they weren't allowed to wear their masks. What type of is that? You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to confuse the situation or anything like that, but
Mhm.
one side, the hospital side, they hide their mask. Everybody's hiding masks and stuff like that because people are still in masks. These people cannot get masks.
Yep, same with us.
I'm telling you, the actual people, the actual, administration, they gave them one mask, but that mask has to be totally ruined before you could get another one. What type of shit is that?
And it's
But
due
isn't
to the fact that this administration wasn't prepared. They're not. They dispatched the department that actually set the guidelines in place. He dispatched so many federal guidelines and dispatched so many departments that the United States isn't prepared for the things that it needs to be
remember
prepared for. If you look at Seoul,
That
Korea,
sounds like a fault. That sounds like a fault.
he
That sounds
took
like a fault. Because
Everybody in Seoul,
because
Korea,
I'm in a hospital district. I mean, UMC is right there. Valley Hospital is right there. This is where everything should be when it comes to medical. And like nobody has shit. I mean, like the
our
whole
wait,
world's at fault for this
our
type of crap
president
happening.
our president took money from the CDC. Y'all don't remember that shit? Now CDC is the most important thing that's going on right now. They the ones who keeping us in the loop. They the ones who's telling us. But when you have the head person, no matter if it's a company, the country, whatever, they are against what is needed for the people. You end up with not having what is needed when it's needed. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the truth. What's up?
and
So
the thing was to minimize the effect, the spread, and of the virus, so that you don't have what we have now. They wanted to avoid a national shutdown, is what they wanted. They wanted people to continue business as normal. And what has happened is it's to the detriment of our country, it's to the detriment of our people. You have more people that the testing has been delayed. So you have, it seems like there's not a lot, but because the testing is delayed, you don't know. People are getting tests and waiting 8 days for the results. So there's a higher number than what we know of. So you have a
right.
higher people spreading the infection at a higher rate. But if I control what's being put out, then then I can control the stock market, because I still have people pouring their money into businesses that are open. So there's so much at the top that's going on that's preventing us from being able to control it, preventing us from being able to treat it. And that's where the problem lies. And
Mm.
it doesn't, it, other countries, like I was trying to say, Seoul, Korea, everybody in their country, and granted, they're a smaller country, have masks. They have masks readily available because they're accustomed to going through this type of epidemic. They're not afraid to tell their people, no, you have to stay at home. They're not afraid to tell their people you have a curfew, because there are liberties granted here in the United States. People are not accustomed to being told no. People are not
Uh,
accustomed to being told stay in your home. People are not
mm.
accustomed to being told you can't go to the club, you can't go play
Say that.
basketball, you can't do this, you can't do that. Sit
Right.
still,
Mm-hmm.
because they want to say that, oh no, I have a right to do that. But they're not considering the other people that are being affected. They're not considering
Ooh,
the fact that
nice.
elderly people are being affected. They're not considering the fact that children are being affected because you are doing what you're doing. Your liberty stop where mine begin. And we
Uh,
don't practice that.
at all.
I agree with you.
Wow. Nice. Nice.
Mm.
Man.
Anything else
But
you want to
yeah,
say,
I
Ray?
just look at them. I just look at them, and I'm like, none. It's like so many people quit, and so many people ended up with the virus, and so many people quit to the point where it's just like, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? They're hanging on a few CNAs and a few nurses that actually want to be in that building. And it's like, man, it could go down at any point in time where they have nobody to take care of these patients. And it's going to be a riot going on in the inside, and I'm not allowed inside. So I can't do nothing to help nobody. If they just, if the patients just start attacking them, because the patients are already mad because they can't go outside and smoke or anything after certain times. Or, I mean, like, they pick and choose times that they let the patients go out and smoke cigarettes and stuff like that. But a lot of those patients are really upset, and it could go down up in there. That could be a riot waiting to happen at any point in time. You know?
Magnum, where did you say the facility was? Is it a rest facility, a rest home, or what type of facility is it?
No, it's a rehab center, it's a hospice, and it's a hospital,
Oh wow.
all in one. Yeah, so that little bitty building that they should have been built, they should, because it ain't nothing but desert. It's nothing but desert in the back between.
I don't know. That's why I said don't say anything.
Don't say it. Don't read this.
They ain't read it.
Oh,
What happened? Oh no, because there's nothing but desert in the back. They should have been extended the building so that they could separate people. I mean, if you would have if they would have had more space in there, but see what it is UMC and Valley Hospital are constantly dumping off these patients over there and stuff like that. But like I told you, the doctor got everybody sick because he works for another hospital, and he came over and he was dead sick, and he wouldn't touch those patients in that one hallway. And now that whole hallway, they're about to quarantine that hallway. And now the people that are doing the laundry and everything, they're going to have to go outside and go around. So it's going to be like, man, I mean, I don't know how they're going to keep the alarms from going off and stuff like that, but they're going to have to figure out a way to get people their, their linens. It's crazy.
hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did y'all hear me?
I received. Yeah, we heard you. So I received
Oh, okay.
something, and me and my husband were just discussing whether it's something I should share or not. So what you want?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So not gonna tell y'all where I got it from. I'm just gonna tell y'all. Y'all could take it with a grain of salt if you want to, but just know I'm giving the information probably before you hear anyone else. Okay. So it says here. Homeland Security is preparing to mobilize the National Guard, preparing to dispatch them across the U.S. along with military. They will also call in first responders. They are preparing to announce a nationwide 2-week quarantine of all citizens, all businesses closed, everyone at home. They will announce this as soon as they have troops in place to prevent looters and rioters. They will announce before the end of the weekend. Within 48 hours to 72 hours, the president will evoke what is called the Stanford Act. The president will order a 2-week mandatory quarantine for the nation. Stock up on whatever you need to make sure that you have 2 weeks supply of everything. And that is, I'm sharing this with the few of you that's here. If it would have been more people, I probably wouldn't have shared it. This is to let you know that you need to go get whatever it is you need to make sure that you cool for 2 weeks, because this shit is about to get real.
I've been telling people that. I said, because everybody was nervous at the beginning. Oh, I'm going to catch the virus. No, don't worry about the virus. Worry about the repercussions that's going to happen because that they closing everything down, shutting everything down because of the virus. Everything afterwards, I'm telling you, it's a ripple effect, and it's about to happen. and people, I'm telling you, I've noticed like I'm in Vegas, so I mean, like everywhere I go, man, I see the hookers are they're everywhere now.
Yeah, they're trying
Honestly,
to make that money.
got to get some kind of laughed out of such a serious conversation. We got to laugh about something. But no,
Yeah.
honestly, the hookers are everywhere. The drug dealers are everywhere. I mean, it's like freedom on the streets. People running red lights. They don't care. They really don't care. I'm telling you, man, Vegas is going to be total chaos because it's a melting pot of everybody from everywhere. No, none of these people know how to get along with each other. That's why country folk find country folk. You know what I'm saying? Like I only really chill with my people from Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? I like, you know, because like California people are totally different from how we act. You know what I'm saying? And how we react. You know what I'm saying? It's different. So like, you know, I'm not finna talk my way out of no ass whooping. I'm finna jump into the ass whooping before it even comes toward me. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, yeah, so listen, I don't, I'm only sharing some information that was shared, and my husband he was concerned that if I shared it and it don't be true. So I'm, like I said, just take it with a grain of salt. But it can't hurt you to be prepared, right?
Yeah.
In other words, if you find that this isn't factual, you will still have 2 weeks worth of shit in your house that you want to go get. But if you worry about that toilet paper, as soon as you find out that there's toilet paper out there, go get that toilet paper. What else? Hand sanitizer. I wouldn't worry. Just grab you some soap, right? But I don't know why people worry about hand sanitizer, because most of the motherfuckers wasn't using that shit before. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Well, I don't know why they
licking their hands clean. And which, speaking of, did you guys see the new KFC commercials?
What they doing on it, man?
They changed their slogan.
What's the slogan?
It's finger looking good anymore.
It's not finger looking good no more.
It's good.
Oh,
wow.
They still out there sucking on bones. They still sucking on bones, sucking on grease. Yeah.
It's like, come on, man,
hot
really?
Fat back.
But like you said, see, now here's what's funny. Like around here, and I know it's everywhere else, hottest ticket around here has been a gun.
Yeah. Why people
cats buying guns left, right, and center. Cats that didn't believe in buying guns before, which, by the way, was your boy.
Who?
Brian Townsend.
But yeah,
remember he was anti-gun.
Because me and Brian Townsend, I helped him get in office, right? But that's the only thing we didn't agree on. Really, was he was not.
Guess who bought one?
He went and bought a gun.
Yep.
He was openly against guns.
Yep.
And him. Yeah, we were just not.
Funny because when I got the call, it was a friend of mine. He's, yo, man, didn't you tell me you know Brian Townsend? Yeah, why? He said, you'll never guess who came through here. Are you serious? Yeah. And, was he just visiting? No, he was buying. Oh man, that's so messed up.
Oh, he was standing firm. He would be like, Miss Baum, yeah, I'm against guns. I was like, what? we are a gun-toting family in this house.
I remember when he told me, I thought he had a second head going. Like, you must be out of your mind.
Hey, I got a question for y'all. Have
you
ever seen the movie Death Wish 3, Charles Bronson?
Yeah, we seen Death Wish. I'm not sure if we saw number 3.
I don't remember seeing Death Wish 3.
That's the one, because that's what it's gonna. That's exactly what it's gonna become. Man,
I give you a better one.
Honestly, I've quarantined myself. Other than having to go to work, I mean, like, they trying to pimp me out my money and stuff like that. When everybody's saying that there's no eviction clause. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you are.
In some places, you can get evicted, but
they're trying to, like, states are trying to put a moratorium on that.
Some states have, but Florida, I'm not sure if you saw that one guy. They turned up people lights and shit in the middle of an epidemic. And but yeah, they shouldn't be kicking you out.
Sounds like somebody's just on a mission. But you ever see Trigger Effect?
No.
Never.
Yeah. Check that one out.
This shit
Yeah.
remind me of what's the name of that movie with the virus? What's the name of it?
Talking about Contagion?
No, the other one. The one with
Outbreak?
the monkey. Outbreak. This shit remind me of Outbreak.
Oh,
And
Outbreak. Yeah.
yeah. Remember when the lady was in the house, she was the mother, and then she was like, I'm gonna be back. Mommy just a little sick. And mommy ain't never come back. This shit reminds me of that. And yeah.
But all of those are like, you know,
Okay,
worst case
Gemini.
or what if and worst case scenario. Just like and every now and then there's some truth in them. Like World War Z. Even though it was zombies, you know, like he said, they were firm believers in the 10th man rule. This cat's only job was to say no to whatever the rest of them said yeah to.
I didn't really look at that movie. I just knew it was zombies. You talking about Z Nation? No.
Yeah, World War Z.
Oh, yeah.
But to say, hey, sometimes the 10th man rule works. We don't have it in place right now because if you say no, he'll get rid of your ass.
Man, that's crazy. I mean, like everything that is going on right now in life is crazy because like we all watched it grow and we knew. Cause see, like when they were talking about Y2K, I was like, man, ain't nothing better stop on that day. But at the same time, it was like the birth of the internet revolution. And then now you're starting to see like all the division in, you know what I'm saying? All the divides. I mean, like everybody's going in different directions with, you know what I'm saying? Not only conversation, but their actions. I mean, like pretty girls, there were smart girls and stuff like that. Now they're whores. I mean, like, and like, I mean, you already know. Like, honestly, like, I mean, like, you know, and like you got, you know, the ugly girls pimping the pretty girls. It's like, what the hell is going on? I mean, Sodom and Gomorrah, really real talk. Man.
Yo, but did he just mix his real talk, baby?
Yeah.
What you been sipping on over there?
Actually, I got me a little camo and stuff like that, but I gotta go to work tonight, so it is what it is. You know, I gotta stay warm. You know, it's gonna be kind of cold tonight, so it is what it is. But
yeah,
hopefully.
Make sure you know.
Truthfully, I just kind of act this way. You know, my daddy was like this, and my daddy told me this shit, and my mama learned from my nana. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
You might want to slow up on that sipping, so when you go to work, you won't be rapping and mixing your words. You know what I mean?
Getting funky with it, getting funkified.
Anyway,
that's
I already know.
Never closed was liquor stores.
But remember they was threatening to close the liquor store in PA.
That was Pennsylvania because it was state owned, but you see they backed off of that one.
Oh, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the liquor stores are state owned in PA.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, remember they was like, so these people are smart. I think it was a setup because they started telling you, oh, in 2 days from now, liquor stores are going to be closed because of the coronavirus. People was lined up early morning, way before, because liquor stores didn't open until like noon, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, but people was lined up at 6 a.m. so they can make sure they got enough alcohol for this extent of this.
You're in like Delaware or somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Vegas, man, it's 24/7. You can always find somewhere. But I'll tell you like this, man. Look, a shot of whiskey, man, that'll kill the coronavirus real quick. You know what I'm saying? Get you some Everclear or something like that. I mean, it'll not. You know what I'm saying? Oh, like Chris Rock said back in the day, get you some Tussin.
Yeah, put some tussin on everything. Broken legs?
Yeah. You remember?
Yeah, cancer, put some tussin on
it. Yeah.
Tussin fixes everything.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I saw Chris Rock last time he came to Vegas, man. Oh man, it was a good show, man. Honestly, And it's crazy because they made everybody lock their cell phones up into these little like sleeve like type things, and because like Dave Chappelle did it too, but yeah, Chris Rock did that, and man, I mean, it was a good show. You know what I'm saying? It was the turn of the Rock, man. But like honestly, man, Chris Rock and I think you know I like Tracy Morgan, like you know what I'm saying, the people in my age group that you know what I'm saying I really like to do comedy and stuff like that. Those two, man, I'm telling you, they come with it. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if they're gonna do any stand-ups like, you know, because how can you do a stand-up without a crowd?
Well, they got somebody who coming here this weekend, but it might be changing.
It's probably been postponed or canceled.
Oh, really? Because he was
like
just.
He said, how you gonna do it with a crowd? See, it's easy, like with Chappelle and them doing the Netflix specials and stuff.
Yeah.
It's easy to just put them on a stage somewhere,
right,
with no audience.
With no
if
audience.
You bomb, there's nobody there to tell you suck.
Yeah. Plus,
you just keep firing off jokes.
Real talk. I'll feel you on that one, man.
you just rattle off your jokes and go cash your check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you told you paid me for an hour of comedy. I gave you an hour of my time. Where's my money?
Yeah,
it wasn't funny. It wasn't me.
Let me read what Miss FedEx. Miss FedEx said, "Where I live, a recording called and said, don't pay your light bill because of the pandemic." So I know in certain places they stop because they're saying, "Hey, don't take people money for this when they may need it for food and and other things." But I didn't get a call here in Delaware, but I don't answer my phone.
Well, they sent an email, but even
they did. What they say?
Yeah, the same thing. Oh, yeah, we understand if you can't pay your bill.
But they gonna catch it. That shit,
exactly.
Your bill gonna be like $3,000.
Yep. And then guess what? We'll take a payment plan. We'll take $3,000 down and the other 10 tomorrow. Yeah, but you gonna pay this shit tomorrow.
It should be more of a forgiveness thing for some of these companies that own they got billions of dollars. They can go a few months without payments.
Well, for them, I mean, yeah, unless this thing is true. See, like electrical workers are still working. Yeah. Somebody's got to keep the lights on and the lines connected in the whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that I thought was funny was how, like, first they closed the gun shops here, then they open them back up.
They open them back up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Are they open now? Are they?
Yeah.
They still open?
Yeah.
They making money.
And like I said, the hottest ticket was guns.
But what is the gun? Okay, so I know from our standpoint what the gun would be for, right? We making sure nobody coming in to take the toilet paper we may have that they don't have, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what other people? What are they thinking about the guns?
The exact opposite.
Man, look. Like I stopped to get some ammo, right? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and join this party. These fools had every excuse under the sun. I'm gonna shoot the zombies. Yeah, no damn coronavirus is gonna come crawling across my lawn. I'm gonna give them my toilet paper. It was everything you think of. It was like, okay, so you're gonna sit there. What are you gonna do? Just shoot your lawn with your gun? Hope you get it. Yeah, zombies. What zombies? Are you telling me that's what the virus is? Like you die and you're a zombie? Yeah, I'm just playing along with them. And I was like, look, I just came in here to get some 22 subsonic. What the hell you gonna do with that? I'm gonna shoot squirrels with it.
We're gonna eat.
If the store doesn't have any meat, guess what? I can shoot some squirrels.
I know I will shoot some birds, some squirrels, the deer that's back there somewhere.
So then it was, well then you're gonna shoot the squirrels with it. What if somebody comes to your house? I'll shoot their ass too. So I wish I knew where you lived. I'll show up my 223. I said, guess what? You go ahead and spray and pray. I'm gonna just sit there level-headed and I'm gonna put one right in your forehead. Mm-hmm. And then once you're down, I'll have 2 guns.
You gonna take his gun, man?
You don't need it anymore. You're down.
Right.
And then I can shoot the virus on our lawn.
They don't even know how to really use their weapons. They're going to buy guns, but they don't really know how to use them.
But they don't think this through. See, this is where military came in. I didn't explain this one to them, so I'll just roll this out in public right now. If you fire off a 223, everybody in your neighborhood knows you have a gun.
Mm.
And now we can form a gang and say, bottom line is he's gonna run out of ammo.
Well, 223, what's that?
M16.
Oh, okay. I'm up.
AR-15 is the hottest ticket as far as these fools go. But one round, your whole neighborhood knows where you are. You know how many squirrels I could shoot? My neighbors wouldn't even know I'm shooting squirrels.
You wouldn't even know at all.
They wouldn't even.
They
know.
wouldn't even know that we got food.
They wouldn't even know I had a gun. Right? That's the greatest thing about 22 ammo. A, it's cheap. B, you can get it as quiet as you want. If I really wanted to and could track it down, I could get TV shorts.
Mella, she gave birth to me. That's my mama.
Hey,
That's
everyone.
my baby mama. That's my
Don't
love.
you start
his
telling
mama.
them fibs.
I love me some
Don't you
Mella.
start telling
Hey,
those.
I love.
Don't you start.
Every time I make a song, I gotta put your name in it. I love me some Mella. Hey,
Well, I love the fact that I came up here to hear about you, Magnum. You all right with me? Bomb and Mr. Mark, I've been listening here while I've been cleaning up after myself. I hope you all sound good. That's important.
Yeah, we're doing good over here. We're doing good.
they
How
ain't
you
been
been
eating all
doing,
that.
Mello? I know people think we divorced or some shit. You heard me?
No,
I said
everybody
I know people
better
think
than that.
I know people think that our marriage is a fraud and shit, baby. Hey, my husband don't even know that's me. I'm just showing the guns that you that's us live right now. I'm showing so which gun? These are the ones you talking about?
Yeah,
guns.
It's the caliber 223. It's an M16.
M16 and stuff.
M16s, AR-15s. There's a couple others. Those are the hot tickets, but it's like, yeah, you can pop off a 223 if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
The whole neighborhood knows. Let alone, you don't know where that round's stopping.
You start planning on how to get that from that person on. Everybody know you got it, then you can't be secretive. And eventually,
but like I said, we could sit there and say, I tell you what, what's his name? Magnum?
Magnum, yeah.
Magnum's like, yeah, tell you what, Magnum. You lob a couple of rocks right in his front window. And as soon as he starts lighting up where you are, I'll just snipe his ass. Nice and quiet. And nice and quiet. Because I asked these cats that are buying these guns, hey, which one would you rather face? Some panicky cat with a 44 Magnum or some cool customer with a 22?
Well,
because if you fire at me and you just spraying and praying, guess what? I can go ahead and level off and shoot. No recoil. So if I miss on the first one, I can dot your eye, on the second one. Because there's no recoil. I don't have to wait.
Yeah. With some of these, they spray in all kinds of ways. They're not no steady hand, no nothing. They just zzz.
Or to tell them, hey, another thing I'm gonna just sit out here in public. A lot of cats don't know. 90% of SWAT team's weapon of choice is a 22 rifle.
If you know how to shoot, that's all you need.
Well, not only that, but it doesn't make any noise. So look at these scenarios. You're sitting in your house barricaded, and they want to take out the street lights, and the electric company doesn't want to play right. It's like, Johnson, go shoot that street light. And he shoots it with a 22, and you sitting in your house, you don't hear it.
Oh, Mela is military too. Hey,
right? Or you had dogs out back, that's your watchdogs, and they start barking. All of a sudden, they get quiet, and you wonder why? Because I just put them down to 22.
Mm-hmm. It's quiet.
But it's the weapon of choice of 90% of the SWAT teams.
Yeah.
And you can literally 500 rounds only weighs 3 pounds.
It's been a while though. It's
been a
while.
I haven't talked to you in a minute, Mella. How you been?
Terrific. Just minding my own business because people are they're panic stricken, and it's understandable, but I don't want that anxiety to rub off on me. So I've been keeping busy with interior projects, like refurbishing stuff, or like I'm painting a room, like I'm putting these masks to work, since I ain't going outside. I might as well use the N95 for painting the damn room and shit, I want everybody to remember their glasses, and also I think Gemini, she mentioned how important it is to not cross-contaminate when you take off your gloves. Don't take when you take off your gloves, as I'm sure she's reminded everyone, but this is to reiterate it. Do not use your bare hand to take off the other glove. You know, you're supposed to pull the glove down with one glove while cupping, you know, the inside of the other glove and use that to pull the other glove down. You're not supposed to cross contaminate. I've seen people they'll take off one glove and then they'll use their bare hand to take off that other damn dirty ass glove. And they think they straight. It's like, are you not thinking? Are you not thinking? Or they use their glove to put their mask up and down on their face. The glove they've been using to touch everything all day. It's like, man, if you all don't get the concept of cross-contamination into your vocabulary, I don't know what to do. And then don't forget the glasses are a factor depending on where you are. And I saw someone in the chat mention that they have sleep apnea, so it's difficult for them to wear a mask in general. And I was wondering if your husband had any recommendations what someone in that predicament could do to comfort themselves.
What, CPAP?
Somebody,
CPAP they would use that at sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have. Well, no, if they're going outside for needed errands, like if they're going to a grocery store and they don't want to walk in a grocery store without a mask, but they find it difficult to breathe as it is. What about people who have pre-existing conditions such as sleep apnea to begin with?
Okay, let's
or
back
COPD.
Up. Wait. Okay, so sleep apnea is mean when they stop breathing while they're sleeping. So if they're not sleeping, they should be good, right?
Okay,
well,
okay.
That's why I asked, because like if it's a CPAP machine, I would tell them don't leave the house with it anyway, because it's less than decoration as far as the mask goes.
Okay. Now, well, I don't know about it. I just saw it in the chat and I thought it was interesting. It was interesting because I didn't know anything about it. And then people with other vulnerable conditions like COPD, are they supposed to go to the grocery store with their equipment?
You must mean oxygen. I think she think about oxygen.
Well, yeah, that's different. But yeah, if they're on O2, I would say you still put a mask on.
Yeah, the O2,
But you need your O2. I mean, depending on,
they would use the mask, right?
Yeah, but depending on the source, like if it's one of these ones they're hawking now, like it grabs air or produces oxygen from the air. Yeah, it better have like a top-notch filter on it because it's literally doing the breathing for you.
What about your dad had the oxygen?
Well, he had oxygen, so he had a straight O2 tank.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So that's different. I mean, he can breathe through that. I mean, but you might inhale through your mouth, but
what I'm saying, what they're saying is, but even with that, when they go out in public, you still need to protect. Yeah, you still put a mask on. Right, and that's what.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. That some of these elders are getting cabin fever. They've been told that they are the vulnerable class, and they got to put them aside. And a lot of them are being, from what I'm hearing on different sides of my families, some of them are being rebellious. They want to be taken to the store for GP. It's like, look, we got everything we need. Can we just sit on the balcony? Can we sit on the porch? Can we just go for a stroll? What do you want? And they said they want to go to the mall. Well, the malls are closed. Well, can we go to the grocery store? You know what I'm saying? They want. They just
want to go somewhere.
They just want
to go somewhere. They're getting cabin fever. I don't know how. Maybe there's some video to help console some of these elderly people that are frightened.
We need to practice. Let me go first. Practice social distance, right? What they say, 6 feet apart.
The funny thing is, they don't care.
Yeah, I know they don't care. I told you somebody tried to shake my hand and tell me thank you for my service.
For them, it's like, look.
Oh, damn.
Mella.
Like for the one time, like say yesterday would be a good example, right? I think we saw a total of 40 people, right? Out of 40 that came in, 20 were like 70 or older. Yeah, canes, walkers, wheelchairs, and like she's saying, like, Nathaniel, take me here. Yeah, but you can't go there. Damn it, boy, take me. We'll find out they're closed open when we get there.
They just want to go.
They just want to go. And so, what are you here for? We just want to get out.
Yeah.
Get out. And this is where you came because y'all are open. No, go home.
That's a trip. I don't know whether to find it pitiful or selfish. I don't know what to think. Because you have no business showing up to the hospital unless you can't breathe. I mean, what are you doing? You're putting others at risk and all types and themselves. And they just, I don't know if it's selfish or if there's some pity to be observed from it. You know, I don't know, man. That shit was wild to me. I was like, they want to do what?
And baby,
it's just to get out.
We got somebody named Robin in the room.
They always
know.
They raise children all they like, telling them to sit down and be still somewhere, and now they can't do it.
And they want to go out. You shut me out there, boy. If you don't take me, I'll hit you. And you hear them in the parking lot. Yeah, it's get out the way. If the lights are on there in there, we're going in. And it's all right. You can if you want to.
Robert wanted me to know, although you were in here with me, Robert wanted you to know that. Well, wanted me to know. He typed this. He said, "Bomb Cherry, I want that big booty."
Good for him.
Oh wow.
My husband said, "Good for you." There you go.
Good for your big, brave, disrespectful ass, Robert. Way to be disrespectful. All right.
You know,
we're gonna give you the disrespectful award of the day. Thank you.
And shit in one hand and one in the other. See which one fills up first.
Girl. Anyway, so Mella, how you been? You been doing good though? You over there painting and shit, huh?
Yeah, ain't nobody crossing this threshold, baby. I don't give a fuck who it is. Okay. Cause I'll be too paranoid. I'll be like, I wonder if that motherfucker got the Rona. I'm not playing with these people, man. I am not playing. You know, shit. I'm not gonna jinx it or whatever. I mean, it's gotten so bad, I damn near got superstitious again. I haven't been superstitious for years. And now all of a sudden it's creeping back in my mind, in the jasmine of my mind. It's superstition is creeping back. I'm like, knock on wood. I don't want to jinx it. You know, crazy shit. Man, this shit is serious out here. Cause it don't give a fuck who you are. If it's your time, it's your time. And I'm like, man, and it doesn't necessarily mean a death sentence. Let's get that straight. However, it's not the most comfortable experience in the world. From what I understand, Mr. Law, God bless his recuperation. You know, it's not that's not an easy situation to be to have contract, you know, to have affliction. I mean, that sounds like a very painful, frightening affliction, among other things. And fortunately, Mr. Law is a testament that it, you know, first of all, he didn't know what it was, but he was able to overcome it. So it's not a death sentence. It's just not something you want to play with.
But it's not a death sentence to everybody.
Not to everybody. So the people with people who don't keep their immune system up, they might be the most vulnerable.
Chris said he thought he was about to die. He said it was so bad. He said he had never experienced.
And that's a big strong man. So that's a lot coming from him. Okay.
He said Bomb. He said I was there. He said, and I had never. He said he sat up in the bed, and he realized he couldn't breathe. He said he had never experienced that before, where it's hard to breathe. And that, like you said, that's a big, strong man. You know what I mean? So just imagine those who already have breathing problems.
Right.
Yeah, they probably, you know, without doctor's supervision, because he was on oxygen. I have pictures of Chris over there with oxygen mask on, everything on. Okay.
Yeah.
He made me know that this shit was real. People on YouTube was talking about, oh, this is fake, this is fake, this. And then he sent me that pictures, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is somebody I really know. And damn, this shit ain't no hope.
He's also a business owner. I think he has a security company or something.
Right.
He could benefit from that emergency relief money of $10,000 that they're offering business owners.
What state is that in?
No, it's this SBA, the Small Business Administration. There's an application link in the chat, and it pays you in less than 3 days with a grant. 3 days.
Oh, grant? Wait, grant?
It's a $10,000. You ain't got to pay it back grant.
Oh,
it's called. It's by the SBA. Small Business Administration. There's a direct application for it. You get your money in 3 days.
Here go the application.
So a private investigator could get his money.
Yeah, if you can prove that there go to I shared it. Mela put it in the room earlier. If you own a little small business, go check it out. See if you're qualified for it or not. I'm definitely gonna check it out.
I hope everybody does. And it's amazing how people would rather gossip instead of sharing helpful information, like your husband and yourself, and you know, your husband is actually, you are as well, sir. You always do. You always contribute something helpful. Man,
yeah, my husband is the encyclopedia of knowledge, girl.
I think about you when I ain't heard from you. That's how much I care.
Oh, you're such a sweetheart. I love the sound of your voice, and I know I love the fuck out of Mela. You're the reason why I've been on panels lately. You're the one that told me, because remember, like back in the day,
really?
Honestly, you told me, you was like, why don't you just jump up and talk to her? That was the first time I ever been on a panel. You remember that back in the day? That was like in December.
Okay. And you felt comfortable because we did have some really nice, not too personal, but then eventually it started getting personal. Then it was fun. It was just fun. We had a lot of fun. Yeah,
no
that's impactful. It's impactful when you have fun. I don't know what these other people are doing. I mean,
that's why I made all those.
You heard where's the love? I'm like, where's the fun?
Yeah, y'all. Well, my husband not talking anymore. Unless y'all have any questions. Oh, you listening? Oh, okay, because you know.
Oh, I didn't mean to curse or nothing like that. But Mela knows, like if I would have never started talking to real, you know what I'm saying, if you wouldn't have said, why don't be scared, she ain't gonna bite you. Go on, jump on the panel. I was like, oh, give me a second then. And then I tried it and I was like, oh, well, this ain't so bad. You know what I'm saying? It's easier than typing in the chat.
It sure is.
Okay, amen to that. You have a good sense of humor. And, you know, when you were going against Gotti, that was epic. that I think after that, you know, you didn't have to worry about whether or not you would be considered corny. You demonstrated that you have you know, cleverness, you know, like you just are on the ball naturally. So, you know, people appreciate people like that.
Like when I told him and Miss Mona to bump their heads together and debunk themselves.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off of here because my husband.
I remember that. Yeah,
Thanks for your time. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
I want to make sure I grabbed a few moments to share the good news about this application for relief to small businesses who might be wondering what they're going to do, and hopefully they qualify. Everybody can use $10,000. If you're a small business owner, this can help you. I wanted to be sure I got that message across because that's very, very important. And it's always a pleasure. And
anybody have any other questions about the coronavirus? Anything my husband get? You know, any questions? Just pop them in the chat real quick.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. We did. Bye.
Bring your ass back to cyberspace.
We did have somebody who came up who also verified that my husband knows what he's talking about. Okay, because I know
Oh
there
yeah,
will be
he
somebody.
does.
Yeah, they'll be on here talking about, oh, that nigga not in the medical field. Oh, that nigga don't know. Y'all know how that's gonna be. That's when the crabs in the barrel try to pull down others. So, but anybody have any questions so he can answer? But when y'all see we're gonna just do a recap real quick, baby. So soap is soap is soap is soap, right?
Mm-hmm.
So buying soap that says antibacterial,
It's
the
a waste
ones,
of money.
yeah, it's a waste of your money. If you want to buy, buy. But if they're out of that soap and you see Dow or what's the name of these soaps? Dow, Zest, Ivory. If you see those, yeah.
Spring.
If you see those soaps, it's
Spice.
okay. Buy those soaps as well. It does the same thing. What else we said real quick? Alcohol. We mentioned the alcohol. If you're talking about sanitizing your hands, which most of y'all wasn't doing that shit before. I don't know what we worried about it so much at the level. When you say guy went and bought what? It was toilet paper or a sanitizer. You said they made him donate it.
Oh yeah, hand sanitizer.
He actually went and bought up. He figured he could make money from it.
Mm-hmm.
Gouging, which they made sure you wasn't supposed to do that right off the bat.
Mella. She's such a sweetheart.
So he went and he went and bought up a lot of that.
Yeah, I think he bought like 17,000 bottles.
17,000. And then when people went to buy him, they couldn't find him, and he thought he was selling at a high price.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, that's against the law in pandemics and epidemics and things like that. They make that a gouging against the law. I could have sworn the president, that's one of the first things he had said a while back, was that the prices couldn't go up things. So my sister said in Louisiana, though, she told me that she's like, yeah, the price of this is going up. And I said, that's against the law. And if people don't know that it's against the law, that's why people are able to get away with it. But the price of bread, whatever it was before this shit happened, that price should still be that. If y'all see any company that raised it up, then call in.
Different states have different guidelines. So you can easily raise it like a certain percentage and just chalk it up as cost of business.
Not when after the president says, hey, none of that, he could put it halt to that.
He didn't freeze prices.
I could have sworn I heard him say.
You think this cat is gonna freeze some prices?
I thought he said it kind of not by law, it wasn't official shit. I think just this nigga. Well, nope. This fool.
He's not freezing no prices.
I could have sworn he said.
Believer in survival of the richest.
Well, yeah, I do. But you know how he speaks.
That's why I said like different states. So I know most states is starting to become gouging when it's more than 100% markup.
Yeah, when it's way up there, and not even 100%. It just has to be where something where they can't say why it went up so high. Like normally,
that's what I said. See, it's easy. Like usually business wise, like say me and you were two different companies, and you sell masks. Right, so you sell masks for $10 each. That's your unit cost. I buy it from you, right? Then I turn around. Standard business practice is minimum 66% markup, right? To stay profitable.
Minimum
66%, right? Because you have to take into account it may not fly off the shelves,
right?
Your regular overhead, all that
66%,
right? So I buy it from you for $10. I'm going to turn around and sell it for 17,
right?
Right. Then just if it sucks on sales, then I'll start knocking off percentages because cats run for sales.
That's when you start losing money.
Well, 66%. So if I raise it, like slowly raise it, like next month it's $19, and then I come back and say was 19 now 16.
Right, that's what they do.
I'm still getting my money.
Yeah, a lot of people don't notice that.
But you can do that, and it's that whole 100%. So if I say I bought it for 10 and sell it for 20, right? That's 100% markup. But then I start knocking the price down, but I'm not going any lower than 16.
Okay.
Yeah, so I could literally say 25% off. Cats come running because it's $4. Guess what? I'm still making mine.
Right.
You just came running, just knocked 25% off. It was 25% I wasn't getting anyway.
Right.
Nice. Yeah, that's some intelligent logic right there, man. Yeah, I see exactly where you're going with that. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
You
Peace
know,
And
and
when
you
they,
love.
gotta ask yourself, how many times have you seen something that said regularly X and I'll sell it for Y? You know why? Because they're making their money anyway. When a
Yeah,
store's going out of business, that's when you start seeing them lose money. Anytime you see them say, or they've already lost their shirt on something, when they'll say 70% off, they're just looking to get rid of it.
yeah, they're getting out. That's when they about to go
They're
out of
looking to,
business.
or they just want to stop the bleeding. Because imagine, like, say, like smaller businesses versus Walmart.
Yeah.
Walmart can buy like 10,000 boxes of Tide detergent because they know they'll move. And then because they have buying power, they're not buying it at the same price
That I'm
that
gonna
some
get it.
smaller store.
Right.
So they might be buying it 10,000 at one time at $1 a box.
Mhm.
And then they'll turn around and sell it for $4 a box.
Right.
Right. Meanwhile, the little store bought the same box, just different price. Right. They may have paid $3 for it.
Mhm.
Now to be profitable,
They
they
gotta
had to
sell
make it
it.
like $4.50, $5.
Yeah, they gotta make it higher.
But now
Just
I walk in and ask them, well, why are you selling this for $5? I can get it at Walmart for $3.
Mhm.
And then Walmart said, you know what? Just for sport, we'll give it to you for $2.50.
Yeah, Walmart be playing for Walmart, but I don't think nobody could really compete with Walmart except for
Except for Amazon.
Amazon and Target. And I think Target they
But
beating
you
over
see,
Target.
they're all sitting there, but it's the same thing. And then with them, you know what the funny thing is? They will price match each other because
Yeah,
they
they're
don't want to
probably.
see. Yeah, they already know their profit. Yeah, they
Yeah.
know it.
In fact, not only do they price match each other, but they selling the same shit. So in other words, I could buy something on Amazon, and it might be coming from Walmart
Or the same distributor.
or the same distributor. But yeah,
Because they may, but it's the same thing. But they're not going to say, well, you know what? We're not going to sit here and argue over 4 cents profit. If you want it for that, we'll take it because they've already made their profit.
yeah.
Yeah, that extra 4 cents doesn't mean anything. Yeah,
You know what I'm noticing? Like, okay, so I'm doing. I just opened a business, right? I'm selling handmaids, y'all. I focus mostly on handmade things, jewelry, doing T-shirts, underwear, like things that where I could design stuff, and it's I'm noticing I want to put a price on it, right? I do base it on, okay, how much did it bought? Like if somebody buy a shirt from me, how much did I pay for just the shirt? Then the vinyl, and then by the time I put my time in it, it could be pricey, but it's still cheaper than I see other people. So then I start thinking, wait a minute, why are they shit so high? Because people value their time, seem like
that's
more than
part of your
mine.
unit cost. You sit around and say, if a seamstress in New York makes $25 an hour, well, it took me 10 minutes to make this shirt. So guess what? 25 divided by 10 is 250. I'm rolling this 250 into this because that's my time.
Right.
So now your unit cost just off of that one, because that's the argument I made here. Like, hey, look, our economy is wrecked because there's so many New York people here that they don't think twice about paying the price of something here versus the price of something in New York. Case in point, cigarettes. Reason there's so many tobacco stores around here, especially up and down the 95 corridor,
because New Yorkers come in.
Exactly. They could care less if a local guy comes in there and buys a pack of Newports. That's nothing. That's $7. You barely pay for the cat sitting at the cash register. The one they're waiting for is the next cat in the door. It's a New Yorker that comes down here or is on his way somewhere and discovers that he can buy a pack of cigarettes here for $7 that he pays $14 for in New York.
Yeah.
He's so thrilled that he's getting a half price. Guess what he'll do? I'll take 5 cartons right now. And I can close up the day. And we paid all our bills. You get 3 or 4 of them and you string along because you had cats that are literally commuting back and forth that live here, commute to New York.
I noticed
twice about the pass, the monthly bill.
You notice a lot of cigarette or what they call them, Tabasco stores are popping up.
Yeah.
They popping up around here like crazy
because they're competing for New York money.
Yeah. And New Yorkers, it is cheaper to buy here, but isn't it illegal? I guess they have to. I thought it was illegal for them to buy a lot and bring Tabasco and bring tobacco.
Yeah, because here's the beauty. See, these cats, they might have been born at night, but they weren't born last night. You ever notice why you see so many New York tags around here?
Oh, because if they got New York.
Because if they had New York tags, they can claim that all those cigarettes are souvenirs.
Souvenirs.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
You don't live here, or at least your car doesn't.
Oh, wait a minute.
So if you just for sport decide to pull over some New York tag, leaving Delaware, driving through New Jersey, and you decide to pull them over, excuse me, sir, what's the deal with this trunk full of cigarettes? Oh, those are my souvenirs. Souvenirs? Who the hell needs this many cigarettes? Well, I live in New York. These are my souvenirs from Delaware.
Oh,
I don't live here.
Wait a minute. Okay, so
it's not interstate commerce until you can prove that I live in another state.
But you live
you're not listening. See, you live here, right? You have a resident and everything, but you don't change the registration on your car.
Wait, stop. Because you okay. This is my question. So I, as a Delaware resident, I can't go in that store that's in Delaware and buy 25 boxes of cigarettes?
Hell yeah.
I can. Yeah. Okay. So that's why you got me.
The minute you jump in your car and drive to New Jersey.
Oh, if they catch me in New Jersey.
It's interstate commerce.
Okay.
But if you bought them 25 packs and went to your house,
which is in New York, because I got New York tag.
Well, yeah, for them.
Okay.
But you live in Delaware, so they see your ID, see your tag, everything is Delaware. They could care less. All of a sudden, they're neck deep in your business the minute you drive into New Jersey.
As soon as I get across that state line, that's when. Oh,
that's interstate commerce. Because what are you gonna say? Oh well, I was just taking my cigarettes for a ride to New York to go see what New York looks like. No, you weren't.
Oh, okay.
You don't live in New York.
So is it just cigarettes? Because I can buy clothes here and go in another state and sell clothes.
That's why there's so many New York tags. These are cats that are making money.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of New York tags here.
Then just for sport, when they get to New York, if they sell at market price, guess what? It's still not interstate commerce, but you just made a nice profit.
They make good money because they buy cheap. We don't have no taxes here.
$7 a pack here, and go sell them in New York for $14 a pack. Market value. Guess what? You just made $7 on a pack of cigarettes.
And it's legal?
Yeah.
So what makes it illegal that they bought it from here and sell it?
Because they're going to claim their souvenirs. So they can sell them in New York because they may live here, have an apartment or a house or whatever, right? But they have a New York license, New York registration. The minute they set foot in New York and sell them, as long as it's not above market value.
Oh, so you're saying as long as it's not above the regular store prices there, then they're good. But if they go lower,
they can go lower.
A little lower.
Why? If they're selling for $14 there, you just bought them for $7, make you $7. Don't sell them for $17 and try and make $10, because now that's gouging, and they can throw interstate commerce in it.
But why they throw interstate commerce if they selling it even higher than the stores? They not competing because they. I'm not understanding what you're saying. Maybe my logic, the way I'm following along.
Like for me, it's like cat I used to work with was a lawyer from New York, so that's why he explained it like that. As long as he stayed within market value, there's nothing they can say to him.
So what does that mean?
$14.
Hey, I gotta get ready for work. So
okay, go ahead.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciated the conversation. It was a very good show. I love y'all. Peace.
And love you too.
All right, take it easy.
Thank you for coming
up. Next time. All right. Y'all be good.
You too.
All right.
Okay, so I see maybe that term you use, market value. What does that mean? Market value. As long as
if you wanted to do the homework, like him, for example, you just grab 10 stores at random and find out what the price is at all 10 stores. So say they're all $15, right? Or average 15. If you sell them, because if I wanted to throw you under the bus, he lives in Delaware, but he comes up here and sells me cigarettes at $15 a pack. And all right, and well, I can get them at the store down the street for $13. Then why aren't you down there?
Right.
That's market value, because when you say, well, I can get them over there for $13, I say, yeah, but there's 17 over there. So guess what? The average is 15. Yeah. It's 15 all these other places. Yeah. If they're $13 a pack, then take your ass over there and buy them. I didn't make you buy these cigarettes. Guess what? They're going to move.
So what is it? Give me an example of what would be against the law. So they came in.
Commerce would be like you because if you bought 25 packs of cigarettes and fully intend on driving to New York to sell them at local price up there, that's interstate commerce. That's illegal.
Because, like I say, me and that guy. The only difference between me and the person you explained before is that I live here and he lived there.
Proof that you live here. He lives here, but he still has proof that he lives in New York.
Oh, okay.
So he can make the argument. All this stuff in my car, because he used to. I mean, he'd be sitting in his office. Man, how many cartons? 10 cartons of Cools. Yeah, I got you. And this cat would literally be spending $2,000-$3,000 on stuff that he's buying down here and selling to his friends up there at local price or just below.
But why they buy it from him if it's local? You can go in the local store and get the same shit.
Because he would, like I said, he'd sell it below. But he knew the price. I mean, he'd tell them, well,
even if
they're
they
14
said
over there, I'll sell them to you for 12.
Yeah, even if they
say
$2.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So the only difference between us, living in Delaware and going into another state over state lines to sell some shit, even if it's lower in price, it's still against law.
Because the cigarettes already have. See, like for him, it's easy to defend because he's going to say, I live in such and such in Brooklyn.
Right.
Right. So I just bought these as souvenirs. Yeah, I had different tastes. My mom likes, Camels. You can make that whole argument.
Yeah.
But you can't.
Yeah, I can't.
Because the minute say you even get into New York and you're sitting there selling cigarettes and the cat comes, excuse me, you live around here? Oh, no, I just can't move these cigarettes, man. I couldn't sell them in Delaware. Oh, you're under arrest.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Anyway, everybody, we just talking. Anybody have any comments, suggestions? Otherwise, we're gonna get off here because I do have to finish making these masks, and I'm gonna do. You gonna soak your feet, Silver?
Yeah, after I go cook some. Well, not cook. Do this rice for the shrimp and rice.
Oh, okay. I'll put the rice on for you. We going. Okay, we're gonna do some things. Anybody have any questions? Y'all let me know. And I know somebody wanted to interview me. I think she said tonight. I'm gonna check the email. But let me see what her channel is so y'all can check her out. Let's see where it is. Let me see. She emailed me back. I know she did. I saw it. Oh, and thank you for the Cash App to those who sent Cash App. The Cash App is at Bomb Cherry. No, what is it? $ Bomb Cherry Juice. Yeah, that's the Cash App. MJ. Let me see what's MJ's channel. No, that's not it. I'm gonna put it in the link at the bottom. YouTube has been acting up. As y'all see, I started a couple of lives on Sunday, but the lives kept coming down. Somebody kept reporting the lives, and instead of, because YouTube don't have a lot of people on staff. As soon as they reported it, they would take it down. But then I guess they checked it out after the fact and said, okay, she didn't commit any violations. And then they would stick that shit back up. I didn't even know they were back up until somebody told me that somebody took a little clip of my video and talked about it. I'm not going to give I'm not going to mention no names. I'm going to just say, I don't listen to invisible people. Invisible people talking about people's looks. I'm sorry. Until you show yourself, not having any teeth, that like we know, we don't care. Okay. When somebody decide to, because it will happen, when somebody decide to put your baby mama pictures up there and they see what I know, then yeah, you're gonna be a laughing stock of the whole YouTube, dude. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Now, because my husband here, I'm gonna be good and I'm gonna sign off without starting any drama. You have anything you want to share, baby, that we missed?
No.
Okay. So anyway, I'm gone, y'all. Okay. I'm about to rub on my husband's feet. I'm out. Y'all have a good evening.